Facebook, right?
Yeah, so it should be popping up on Facebook now. Y'all can share it on there. Welcome back to the 10 Lines Podcast. I'm your boy, Jelani Lion. This is episode 49. In this episode, we will be discussing Knicks in 6, Chris Brown arrested, Tory Lanez stabbed 14 times in prison, new evidence brought to the table, Black Fatigue, Cassie versus Diddy, Halle Bailey versus DDG, Candace Owens versus Jason Lee, and more. So make sure you watch all the way into the end so you don't miss a single thing. Also, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Introducing the guests for the very first time. Mel and Earl are in the building. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for coming through.
All right.
Yo.
Appreciate y'all. How y'all feeling today?
Oh, man.
Pretty good.
Feeling blessed, man.
Feeling blessed? That's always a good thing on a blessed Sunday.
Blessed is best, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Especially on a Sunday. Hallelujah.
Very cool, very cool. So how we usually start off before we get into the topics, we usually get into words of wisdom. Is there any words of wisdom y'all want to share with the people that are watching now or could be watching in the future?
Well, absolutely, man. I think my sweater says it best.
Hustle,
but don't hustle.
Hustle, but don't hustle. Break that down for me.
Hustle, but don't hustle backwards.
Oh, okay. That's like a riddle. Okay, I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
This
that went over heads too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rhyme and reason, especially for the season. You know what I mean? So that's why we here. But that's I think something I want to put out there in the atmosphere and in the universe to let everybody know. Hustle, but don't hustle backwards. And shout out to my boy Tim Turner. This is his brand right here.
Shout out to
Thank
Tim.
me later, brother.
Now, hustle, but hustle backwards. What does that mean to you?
Hustle, but don't hustle backwards.
Okay.
If you think about it, right? A lot of us in life here, everybody's on a grind, everybody's on a hustle. Just like the statement where we talked about before we popped on the live here of, you know, people in the community and stuff like that. Everybody's sort of kind of like, there's talent, there's aspirations and things of that nature. Everybody could be talking about it, but they're not executing or doing it or making the vital connections and network, which you can underline that a million times. That's the key, is to network. Because we could all talk about, we could do stuff here, but if you're not connecting within or outside of your sphere, you're not gonna go anywhere. You dig?
That's fire.
Bars.
No, I'm glad that you broke
Bars.
that down because it's more, you get more out of it when you explain it. And honestly, I feel like that is like certain people, different people who wear that can break down their own like definition for it. So
Right.
I definitely appreciate you breaking it down.
Absolutely.
Yo,
That's
Mel,
what
what you got? Words of wisdom? Talk to the people.
Let them know, Mel. Go
I
ahead.
ain't
Don't
got nothing
hesitate.
to say on
Anticipate.
that. Words of wisdom. Come to me for all your cinematography needs.
Hello.
You go elsewhere, you're playing yourself.
Come on now.
I like it. I like that.
And that's not ego talking. I'm just,
That's facts.
if you check my page, you check the stuff I do,
The proof is in the pudding.
you go elsewhere, you're playing yourself.
So hold on, but by the proof in the pudding, let them know what's the name of your production.
Foreign Optics Production. They call me Mel on the camera. You know what I'm saying? Mike Millions. And
Mike Millions is on Instagram, and
Mike Mel 100 on Instagram.
Yup.
Mike Mel 100 on Facebook. And you could tap in, check out the work. I work with every budget. You know what I'm saying? If the story is good, we don't even got to worry about it. We could really just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen down the road. We'll figure something out. But if you go elsewhere, you're really playing yourself.
Oh, what's funny is after the words of wisdom, I had the marketing plug. I was like, gonna give y'all a space to plug what y'all doing.
My
we can
fault.
double up.
Yeah.
We can double. Hey, we can
I wasn't trying to really.
I know.
He's ahead of the curve,
But-
so it's all
We
good.
try. We got to plug in, man.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, but that's what's up. All right, so what we would say?
I'm trying to figure out how you do
The sharing?
tap into the share, bro.
Oh, you gotta go to my page on Facebook.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, and then you'll
My bad,
see
my
it as a
fault.
post, and then share
I'm
it.
learning.
There you go. So my words of wisdom is trust in God's timing. Trust in God's timing, and it's something I've like learned recently because
Come on now.
I don't know, it's like trusting and quote unquote. I feel like my mom used to tell me that trusting God, trusting God's timing. And as a kid, like in your early 20s or even earlier on, you're not really trying to hear that, or it's going in one ear,
And out the other.
in one ear and out the other and whatnot. So it's like now I'm getting older, I'm getting more mature, and I'm understanding that there's truth in that. And I feel like trusting in God's timing is trusting in your own timing and whatnot. So like I've had frustrations in the past where I feel like I should be higher or more successful or at a higher point in life and whatnot earlier on and whatnot, but things happen for a reason, and your journey is your journey, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and the experiences that you have had in life lead you to where you are currently in life and whatnot. So it's just a whole bunch of things that make sense to me. So trusting God's timing is my words of wisdom. Marketing plug. So if y'all have anything y'all want to market or the shameless promotion, feel free. I feel like Mel already jumped the gun.
Oh,
on that.
I didn't mean to jump the gun.
But
hold on.
Yeah, he's trigger happy.
But no. Let me tell you why I said that.
Do me a favor, bro. Just lower your mic. I already know.
Oh, yeah, he got it. Yeah.
It's good. That means that you project. You're not soft spoken, but I just know how the mic will pick it up.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, so I'm the guy everybody calls when stuff is messed up.
Okay.
Yo, what should I do with this? How could I fix this? Yo,
Right.
what should be my next step?
The
Why are
first
you
step
calling
should
for the advice
Yeah.
when we could have got it done right?
Right. You could call for the solution.
Yeah, we could have just did it from the beginning and said, look, slow your roll. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. You're wasting money over here. You're doing this. Let's just get it right. And it boils back down to trusting God's timing.
Okay.
You want it this quick,
Right.
but the road you're going is going to screw you. Take it slower. Let God say, all right, you've got this done. You've got that done. You've experienced this. You experienced. Now you're ready.
I like that. I'm not mad at that. Yo, but look, so as a cinematographer, obviously you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Or been an entrepreneur and whatnot. I'm sure you had to have heard, oh, I can get it done cheaper.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, okay, so
Choosing his words wisely.
no. If homeboy is watching,
Oh shit.
he gonna no. If homeboy is watching, he gonna know I'm talking to him. But
Y'all do that all the time.
I'm not throwing him under the bus because
Yeah.
I still communicate with him, and I'm still, even though he didn't go with me, I'm still helping him navigate through the decision that he made. Right?
Okay.
Yo, I want to
big of
get
you?
I want to get a movie made. All right, boom. I'm gonna charge you $5K. That's coming with the sound. That's coming with the edit. That's coming with the color grade. You're not gonna find that nowhere else. Yo, but look at this price list I got. I said, whether you pick me or not, that's my price.
Right. Facts.
He goes elsewhere. Check in on him. How's everything? Yo, is it coming along good? Yo, I realized I hired a music video cinematographer instead of a film cinematographer.
That'll do it.
And I'm already $4,000 in, and I'm probably gonna be another $4,000 to finish it.
Sheesh. So he screwed himself.
So, how does the footage look? Tell him tone this down, tone that down, shoot the rest of it like that. On the next one, holla at me. That's it. I'm not gonna bash you. I'm not gonna talk down to you.
Right.
I'm gonna still help you navigate because from the beginning, I'm telling you, look, bro, you go elsewhere, it's upwards of 15 to 16,000.
Right.
I read the script. I know your position in life, what you're trying to do. We're gonna be able to come up together.
Hello?
So I give you this price. We put it on the right platform.
Yeah.
We get money together. Then you could pay me more later.
Right.
But right now, I'm willing to sacrifice what I should be charging you to get you there.
That's right.
But you still took your own route, and now you're going to be paying double or even triple. So that's why I said that statement earlier. Like, just come to me first.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But it's also no skin off your nose type
No,
shit.
yeah.
What's called? It's good for you for standing firm on your beliefs, your price, your integrity. Can't be mad at that.
And I still help him. He calls. I'm like, yo, just, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, man. Yo, I mean, also let them know who you work with, bro. I mean, I know you wanna.
So now you trying to.
I mean,
nah,
I
go
mean, you
ahead.
might jump ahead.
No, do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, now that was the right time.
That was the right time to do it. Let it loose.
All right, so I worked with John Carroll Lynch from Zodiac Killer, Mark John Jeffries, Lilo Brancato, Mr. Commodore, Jim Jones. I worked with a lot of them, bro. I don't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I don't. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I rather you.
Nah, just to show
don't-
you credibility.
Yeah, I rather you
Look you up. Type
like me for my work
Right.
instead of who I worked with.
Hello. Oh, come on.
You understand what I'm saying? Look at the work and say, I want to work with him because that looks good, instead of saying, I seen him standing next to this person and I seen him. Nah,
shit.
that's,
Right.
Yeah. But it's not even the mere fact of standing next to somebody because, you know, anybody can have pictures with, you know, celebrities here and there, whatever, or people, I mean, it's just like us, but just being in the room with a lot of these people, but then not just being in the room, but actually working with these people as well, and that's massive. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Like I get why you say that, but the cosign is like they kind of go hand in hand. Like they should want your work for you, but it's like I could be the dopest like painter in Kingston, but once if I'm standing next to Chris Brown.
Got you.
Now you see, now the world sees me type shit.
Right,
so it's
right.
like that cosign is kind of like a billboard type shit. So it's like, but I get what you're saying for sure though. It's just how the world works, unfortunately. Type shit. All right, so perfect. We got the words of wisdom, marketing plug.
I got a couple plugs.
Yeah, what's up with your marketing plug?
We doubled down.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to cut it short.
But we sharing
You bring the bread, you give all the bread.
Yeah.
I was trying to cut it short.
Hold on, let me plug this in.
Yeah,
plug it in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now we had. So my name is Earl, they call me Earl the Pearl, and there's a reason behind that, but you can catch me on Instagram, Earl the Pearl 82. Pearl comes from my grandmother, which was a major staple in my life, so I just put the two together, and Earl the Pearl has a ring to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then you do a little jingle, right? And people remember you for a lifetime. You know what I mean? Because names go over their heads, but music and melodies and metaphors resonate with us. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I'm in a little. I got my toes in the industry.
Nah. You're not gonna do that.
Huh?
You're not gonna do that. You gotta drop it. You pause.
All right.
You made me drop all them names. You gotta drop everything that you've done, man.
All right. Now, so I've worked on sets. With
who?
Huh?
With who?
With
who?
I worked on sets. I worked with Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson. Natasha DeLeon.
Who?
Natasha.
Keep going. No, keep going.
Michael Ravenport.
You be your hype man right now.
I know, right?
I like it.
He's a hype man.
Yeah, keep going.
Who else? Oh man.
You got them in your phone. Just go through
I do got them in my phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Who else I got? I mean, these are names, right? But at the end of the day, is I downplay it because I'm in the field, not looking at that, because you're 10 toes down, you're doing the work, and it's work. You have a mission, you have a production, you have a product, and what you're doing is you're collaborating with other artists or people in their field that they mastered, and you're just making a project come to life, and that's a beautiful part about it. So, this is why we don't really look at the celebrities as we look at them as people from outside look at them, because we're in the mix. You know what I'm saying? And they're all executing their job and their work, right? So I must say I've worked with Choice Films. They're in New Windsor, and they've been doing big things in the industry. I worked with them. I've done locations for them. I've done stand-in. I came in initially as a stunt driver for a film that Mark Ruffalo produced on HBO Max. Then I ended up playing his attorney on one of those episodes.
That's right.
Which is pretty dope.
Where is so what are your credits as far as like shows and movies or commercials?
So
or
check this
whatnot?
out. I mean, you can check me out on IMDb. I got a page on there.
Okay.
You can see my credits. Like I said, I just don't speak it. It's stuff behind it. I don't talk too much about it. But
I don't even cut you off.
Yeah.
On IMDb, how would they look you up? So it wouldn't be Earl the Pro.
yeah, you can just type that in right on the internet. You just type up Earl Legister.
Right. Okay.
Earl Legister.
Is it Earl Legister or Earl Legister Jr.?
I'm a junior, but I think on my IMDb is Earl Legister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
You know what I'm saying? And but you can look it up. I'm on IMDb. Trust me, people find me. And you see my credits on there.
Okay.
Not all my credits are on there.
Right. Okay.
We know how they do.
Yeah.
We know how
Now,
they do.
Yeah, there's levels to this.
One
right?
man can't have all that power.
Yeah. Who said that, Kaya? But yeah, not all my credits are in there, which is cool. It's all good. I know what I've done. Everything's documented. I got it, on my archive. But the mere fact is, I've been interviewed on the news, which was dope. Shout out to Choice Films for that. They have a beautiful crew and network team over there. And if anybody's looking to get into film, that's a good way to start. So a lot of people, when they get into this industry, they try to come in and be like, people who want to act, but the best way to get into this industry, because now you're a dime a dozen. You see what I'm saying? There's so many people trying to get into that, the acting world. The best thing to do, bro, is work on sets. Because guess what? You're on sets.
Closer to imagine.
Bro, you're around everybody.
Gotcha.
You got the in on the actors. You're there. You're in the mix. You've seen how things operate on sets and on the production. You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
You did?
Yeah.
So now you have an in. Now, when you hear the director, you're hearing the casting agents that are on set, and they're looking for people. And you have the in. You have the, again, what they say, your network is your net worth. So within that, you got the plug. That's why I said plug it in, plug it in. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? So yeah. And also that's that. Shout out to Joe Suba for Suba Media.
Shout out Joe Suba, man.
Yeah. So he's another co-executive. We've done maybe about 2 films with him. Which I had a couple roles on. One is called Crossroads. You can check that out. Well, actually, excuse me, it's not out yet, right? I sent you the information. I don't know if you wanna.
Yeah.
You can share that stuff if you want.
Oh yeah, I can definitely. I'll attach it in the description to the episode.
Okay. And then also there's another movie that we collaborate.
Crypto.
Yeah, crypto. That we just wrapped that up. Actually, is in a post production right now. That's about to come out. Obviously, people who knows the whole blockchain in our world. But go ahead.
Shout out Sadiq, the DP.
Oh yes,
he did a great job on that one.
He definitely did. And also shout out Ali from your favorite production. I did a series with him in Brooklyn, which was dope. I'm just grateful for all these opportunities. Oh yeah. Moisey Morale. We did Warriors. We did a Warriors prequel.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that was probably one of the biggest productions that I got involved with. Okay. And I was in a movie with him, a basketball movie that's on Amazon Prime right now called The Jackie Ryan Story. And we linked up and we executed that film, which has over 1 million views on YouTube right now.
Fire. Which
is pretty dope. I played Black Panther in that movie. Series, and it's a pitch. And we actually, there's some people who was trying to nibble at it. So we're, that's in the works, and a few other things that are in the works that, we taking a little step by step.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it definitely sounds like you've taken quite a bit of steps on your journey and whatnot. Yeah. So respect to both of y'all. And if y'all looking for actors, cinematographers, you looking right out type shit.
Absolutely.
So before we get into the topics, I got to shout out the stats that we got on TikTok. The last 7 days got 798,000 views.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yeah, 400 followers.
Hold on. Can we get a clap?
Wait, hold on.
Can we get it?
I'll take it.
You got the sound effects in there?
You gotta give the flowers where flowers is due, bro.
Definitely appreciate that. Over 400 followers and 30,000 likes. So shout out to y'all. If you're a new follower here, shout out to you. We appreciate you, and I'm just gonna keep rolling. All right, so let's get into the first topic. Knicks in 6. As New York men, how do y'all feel about the New York Knicks reaching the Eastern Conference Finals in the first time in 20 years?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this.
25 years. My bad. 25 years.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I've been so busy. I haven't really.
You haven't been watching.
Well, I catch the highlights.
Okay.
But I want to say this. I'm not a Knicks fan. Okay. But check this out. Hold on.
What?
I'm not.
At least being honest.
Let's be honest.
Even in loss.
No, hold on.
You're supposed to be in.
Hold on.
I'm glad we're not in the city.
Hold on. You let me finish yet, though.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I never had a favorite team, but I always had a favorite player, and that was Scottie Pippen, right?
Okay.
All around player, right? But I must say, I am rooting for the Knicks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And Point was it James? What's his name?
Bronson.
Mm-hmm. He's a beast, bro.
Yeah, he's killing.
Beast, bro. Man, let me
they
tell you
call him
something.
like the big boy Bronson, like, and he's a point guard. That's
dude,
crazy.
He's bodying people, bro, and he has heart, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I must say, I am rooting for the Knicks.
As you should.
I'm rooting for the Knicks. That's it, bro.
As you should.
That's it. You know what I'm
As
saying?
a man from New York, you should.
Man from New York. That's it, bro.
Okay, so my next thing is this. My grandmother, Yachty,
Yeah, man.
cracking the peanut at the table.
Yeah.
John Starks, Anthony Mason,
Yeah.
Ewing. I'm a Knicks fan, man.
Say less.
Even when they losing, and I don't watch basketball.
Come on now.
So basically, I'm glad that they there. You know what I mean? We had a lot of hopes years prior where we're like, yo, the Knicks could do it, the Knicks could do it. My pops, he calls me anytime it's playoff. Yo, I like what the Knicks doing, but Indiana gonna take them out. How you know? Because he's a basketball fan.
Yeah, fanatic, yeah.
He knows how they switch up defense and all that. I just hope that they can keep the momentum up and take the chip.
Yo, that's a fact. However, like, they just beat the former champs. Knocked them out of here. Got them out of here. So they the guys to beat now, in my opinion.
But you know, taking on a task like that, the next team they play, injuries start to set in.
Yeah, yeah.
Hamstrings is a little weak.
Knock on
They
wood.
played all them games. Because that's how it be happening.
Yeah.
We be like, yo, we gonna do it. And the next thing you know, son is limping off the court. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can take it there. You know
I think that they in the mindset of staying healthy and whatnot, because they know that Kobe said it best. This is something I live by rule of thumb. Like, the job's not done type shit.
Yeah.
Like, he got to the championship, but he didn't win the chip yet. So he's not done till he's done type shit.
Nice.
I feel like they in that mind frame, like, they happy as shit to where they've come. But now it's like the job's not done type shit. But the good thing about this is they're not playing no LeBrons, they're not playing no Kobe's, they're not playing no Steph's. So like they competition is kind of like, it's not bad competition by any means. But it ain't that. It ain't them.
Yeah, exactly.
The only people that I'm worried about them playing is the Timberwolves. Because Ant-Man is crazy. He don't give a fuck who he's playing. He got LeBron out of here this year, and he got Steph out of here this year. And last year he got KD out of here. He got the gauntlet, the Thanos gauntlet.
He's trying to get the rings.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. That's the only people I'm worried about them playing. But they about to play the Pacers now, and the only person on there they've been talking about is like Halliburton or whatever.
But then the
Pacers eat them.
Didn't the Pacers take them out like 2 years ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Indiana. They switched up on them and started hitting them threes.
I think that
Reggie Miller spirit.
Well, that wasn't. It don't even matter because that wasn't the Knicks that just beat the Celtics.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
This last game that they played, they beat them. They beat the Celtics without their man's Jason Tatum. Because he got like an injury or whatever, but even when they had him, they was getting their wins or whatever. So I think this is a different Knicks, they had different mentality, whatnot. Not just Brunson, but Cat be killing. You don't know if he's gonna hit a three or take you to the paint or whatever. Right. They got a couple like killers on that team. So I'm definitely rooting for him. I only think Pacers really only got like I only hear about him on with Ant-Man. On the Timberwolves, I hear about him and Julius Randle. He used to be on the Knicks and whatnot. He's dogging them. So yeah, I think they're gonna see each other in the chip. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, yeah.
But yeah, anything else on the Knicks?
I'm
not too big on the sports, but I was opening the floor to see if y'all was on that time.
Yeah, go get some jerseys. That's it. Let's go cop some jerseys. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Support New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I might need a Cat one. You gonna get Brunson?
I might have to get a Brunson one.
Yeah.
Jump on the back. I'm just, you know what, man?
I might go get a Spreewell though. Just, you know what I mean? Yeah, just
vintage,
yeah. Nah.
Come on now.
I like it. Fire. All right, so next topic is Chris Brown arrested in Manchester, England. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro.
Keep it a buck, please.
I haven't kept ties with any of that. You know, like I said, to me, that's all distractions. But you know, it's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
You know, I guess what they say out there, get them Chris Brown t-shirts, free Chris Brown.
If they, it just happened last week, so I don't think they got them out yet. But the crazy thing is that he. All right, let me read it real quick.
What happened to run it?
Chris Brown. That's crazy. Chris Brown has been taken in custody at a hotel in Manchester, England, early Thursday morning on a suspicion of grievous bodily harm, according to law enforcement sources. This arrest stems from an incident 2 years ago where Chris is being accused of allegedly smashing tequila bottle over music producer's head at nightclub.
Caught him when he came back.
So
Interesting.
So he had warrants on him. He had warrants on his head in London or UK. So you had to know that. Like
Right.
that's like, unfortunately, that's not my first thoughts. My first thoughts is like free Chris Brown, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because you had to know that. Like you had to know what you did. So you went back there thinking like they wasn't gonna pull you, and they pulled you.
It was
Right.
like, yo, Chris, it's time to give me these 3 free shows. We need 3 free shows out of you. Pull up, we're gonna arrest you, get you some publicity, and then you gotta do these shows. It's over.
The crazy thing about that is that I think they said he's locked up until you got it right here.
Oh,
Chris
wow.
Brown was denied bail in the
A
UK
lot of mercy.
and it will remain in custody until June 13th, making it likely that he will miss several dates on his tour. Madness.
Well, I mean,
Them promoters can't make the rest of their money after we paid you the upfront. I can't make my back end. So now we're gonna sue you for me not being able to make my back end. So that bottle that you smashed over his head just cost you a lot.
yeah,
That's a fact.
That's
a
real.
lot of bread, bro. If you knew better, you do better.
Yo, it's unfortunate because I feel like lately he's been on the up and up. He's been doing his thing. He's got a Grammy. He's been
Right.
in a pop, moving positively and whatnot. So it's just like them skeletons or what you do does come to light type shit.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy timing because he just said free Tory, and then as soon as he landed, they got his ass. So it's just
I'm just talking about keeping your mouth shut.
yeah, it's
Right?
wild.
Keep your mouth shut.
Keep your
Don't
mouth
speak
shut.
on certain things.
Yup.
It's definitely wild. But
Who those 3 lawyers that used to say, da 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 da? You'll keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
But June 13th is that's like
Couple
3
days,
weeks.
yeah.
That's like 3 weeks from now. He'll be alright.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna be alright, but
It's
will
the
remain in
bread.
custody until June 13th. I don't know why they did it like that though. Because does that mean he's released June 13th? Or he goes got to do trials, courts, whatever, or like his bail, he could be able to pay bail or whatever. It's weird how they did it like that.
Right.
I think it's just a setup for him
It's
to have
distraction?
to. Nah, he just got to pay them promoters double what they booked them for.
The ones that
Cause
smashed the bottle on the head?
because now you got to miss a couple shows, right?
Yeah. Talk to me.
Yeah.
So what is the promoter that put the money up to book you? He's gonna go to his lawyer like, yo, I don't care. I'm not rescheduling the date. I lost out on money.
Right.
Chris, you owe me this. Put that in his court. That's a suit.
Mm.
So if I gave you 100,000, your total thing was 200,000, and then I do a suit for $1 million. Even if you fight it with your lawyer,
Oh shit.
you're still spending
Spend
more.
money, yeah.
So it's just a pocket grab.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I mean that's a prediction, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's not what he's going through right now. But that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what
That looks like what he's gonna walk into.
Yeah.
3 show dates. It's different if all the show dates was one promoter. If it's different promoters,
Yeah. Someone's definitely pulling that.
Yeah.
that's a. No, I got a bag for you. When we sue him, I got a bag for you. Keep him in there till the 13th. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at you. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, what's called? Well, we free breezy. That's what we repping now.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
we riding
pretty much.
that out. Like hopefully this is a learning experience if nothing else. Anything else on the breezy topic?
Run it.
That's it.
That's it. All right, bet. So crazier topic. Tory Lanez stabbed 14 times in prison, and there's new evidence on the table as far as his case with Megan Thee Stallion is considered. So he was stabbed like I don't know if I have the breakdown. I don't have the breakdown,
Yeah,
but
no.
it was crazy. It was like 7 times in the back, 4 times in the torso, a couple times in the back of his head, 1 time in the cheek or whatever type shit like that. So it's like the fact that he's even alive. They said that his lungs collapsed.
Wow.
He was in critical condition and whatnot. So the fact that he's even alive is
Right. It's blood.
crazy.
Yeah.
But there was different people saying that like he's been locked up for like 2 years now. For him to randomly get this stabbing,
Randomly.
that's a hit.
Yeah.
What y'all think about that?
Get
You was
it?
telling me something about Tory.
Hit record, get it? Hit
Yeah.
record?
Yo,
Nah,
you
nah,
a comedian.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Hit record. That's crazy.
I must say this, bro.
14 joints on his new record.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Talk to me.
There's a lot of there's a lot of things happening in society right now, bro. It's a major shift going on and a reset. I'm not gonna get in too deep with it, but at the end of the day, they have you looking this way, while there's things going on behind the scenes that way, right?
Okay.
To each his own, right? I'm gonna say this, even with that situation, there is, even with Tory and all that situation, obviously, when I look at it, there were some things that this is my opinion. There's some things happened that he did on, try to go independent and his records and, the whole digital situation, which could really disrupt the music industry.
Right.
And when you mess with people's money and bread,
right?
Because once somebody leaves one direction and the rest will follow, then it's leaving somebody empty-handed on this end.
Of course,
You see what I'm saying? Which would be the labels and things of that nature. So if you really want to do some homework, you dig deep into that.
Right.
You're gonna find your answers.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
so they create a picture and a propaganda in one way, but on the back end, there's a reason for the season for that. I'm gonna keep it light on that.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying though. What do you think, Mel?
I think, look, if you a snitch all the way.
What?
If you a snitch all, look. If you gonna blow up the record label spot, right? If you gonna blow up certain spots of how you getting money in the industry, everywhere you go, you gotta talk. That's gonna be your safety net. If you decide to stop talking one time, that's how they get you.
Right.
So if you're gonna be a snitch, just be labeled a snitch, wear it proud, and snitch every step of the way. Because you already committed to that.
Okay.
Anything, I told one time, but it was just and then now I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And you dead.
I get what you're saying, and what you're saying makes mad sense. But one thing is business, the other thing is street shit.
Okay, but look.
It don't even matter, right?
Street shit is street business.
Okay.
Right? And business is business.
Right.
The niggas in the business gonna get the niggas in the street to handle this business.
Okay.
Now, all this business right here, cause you messing up my money, I'ma pay them, cause this business is gonna pay the street niggas to handle their business because you messing up my money.
Right.
So now if I snitched on you here and then I jump here and I let the secret out the bag, I gotta snitch here and I gotta snitch here and that's my safety. I gotta keep telling so the whole world knows what's going on with me.
Right.
The moment I shut my mouth and say like, yeah, I'm gonna stand tall, I'm not gonna say nothing. You should have stand tall from right here. You should have stood tall from right here. Let all the business that was going foul stay under the rug and just keep moving in silence. You got to snitch all the way, bro.
I'm not mad at that. That actually made hella sense.
Make it make sense. You made it make sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, cause you just stopped my bread. Yo, hello, listen. Nah, it's all good. He talking. Yeah. Get him.
No, that definitely makes sense. I'm trying to pull up because there was new evidence brought to the table from Tory's lawyers. So that's why it's like it's messy, and thankfully he like survived that shit because I don't even know, but there's new evidence brought to the table. I think I got it here in this joint. One sec.
Yo, take your time, bro. We here.
Because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times.
Okay, see?
In essence,
Pause this real quick.
Mr. Peterson never shot
Pause
anyone.
that.
That's what he should have snitched at.
Okay. What do you mean? That's where you should have snitched that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Boom. Yo, Tory shot Megan. Wait a minute. We got footage though that she stepped on glass. You kept your mouth shut for that whole week and let them make the narrative about you. You should have been snitching. You already snitched on the label.
Let me help this out. Not even help it out. Let me talk to you about this. Because all right, so boom, Tory back in what was it, 2020? I want to say this shit happened.
Okay.
He was seeing Megan, like they was intimate and whatnot. This person that they say and shot her, this is with the new evidence, is her girl, like it's her friend, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Tory was also
Clapping. Yeah.
seeing Kelsey.
Yeah.
So do you see in that if you're in that situation, do you see why he wouldn't, street shit aside, do you see why he wouldn't?
Your Honor, I was clapping both of them. She shot her over jealousy. I'm innocent. Investigate that. I'm not gonna keep my mouth closed for you to make your own narrative.
Yeah.
I gotta snitch on myself at that.
Right.
I'm a snitch already.
Right.
So now I gotta snitch on myself. I gotta put it all on the table because my life is in jeopardy. You trying to put me? I didn't shoot her. Her homegirl shot her. They fighting over me. I'm Tory. They want me. Like, put it out there. That would have saved them. Because now,
Would that have fucked up his career though, or his reputation? Definitely his reputation.
listen. 6ix9ine is still making money.
He's not at the
It
top
don't-
like he used to be.
It don't matter.
They look at him, they see a rat.
Yeah, they see a rap, but over in Mexico and all that, where he's really making his bread, they don't care about none of that.
Right.
Just make the music, put it in our language.
So Tory
we
would have
dancing.
had to snitch and then go to Mexico?
No.
Or Brazil or
What
some
I'm
shit?
saying is, Tory would have to snitch, still make good music,
Right.
and send it independently.
Gotcha.
Right.
You selling it independently. You already told us that you make this much off of NFT and selling it independently.
Right.
So even if your fan base dropped down to 50,000 people and you're selling it at $2,
Right.
but you copyright your music and people are streaming it everywhere,
And get
you're
paid.
gonna make your bread.
You gotta make bread.
But guess what? You won't be in this mix-up because you're telling the whole world they after me. Shorty trying to set me up. I didn't shoot her. Her homegirl shot her. They fighting over me. I'm that dude. We know what the industry is now. It's for the younger people. So
Right.
kids ain't caring about that. The
Oh,
people consuming the music and say, yo, this beat is knocking. Yo, I like this vibe.
that's a
Yo,
fact.
I'm in the club. Yo, the tequila in this Tory song is crazy. You would have made your bread.
Right. Okay.
But you should have been kept snitching.
It sounded like Tory needed you as his manager.
You should have kept snitching.
Oh man.
Well, what's it called? Tory's petition to have him pardoned reached, what was it, #1 trending on change.org, so like the petition website and whatnot. So like you got Chris Brown, or before he got locked up, Chris Brown, Drake, all types of different celebrities. A Boogie was sharing that petition to all their fans and whatnot, and people were signing it and whatnot. So it reached over like, I want to say like 200,000 signatures for the governor to pardon them and whatnot. So hopefully that works. He doing everything to get out of there and whatnot. Now with the new evidence brought, there might be a retrial or whatever the terminology is to bring that man home and whatnot. What's crazy is I gotta mention this because Tory Bricks, y'all know Tory Bricks?
No, I don't.
Which one is that?
I don't ring a bell. I don't
Bricks?
ring a bell,
Come on,
bro.
wait, I got you.
Which one is Tory Bricks?
Shorty in the corner.
Play that.
It's not.
Okay.
All right. So
Are you familiar with that, with her or not?
I seen her face before.
Yeah, that's
haven't.
so her shit was, she had Instagram stories today, said Tory Lanez, stop calling my phone, thanks for the house you paid for and the rent, manipulation and finesse at the highest point, different things of that nature. And what's funny about that is, first of all, what do y'all think about that initially, since this is the first time y'all hearing it? What that sound like to you?
It sounds like you was dealing with Tory and he set you up for success.
And now?
Why you mad?
I don't know. Tell me.
No, I'm just saying, why you mad? He set you up. I paid for the house, right? Whatever your destiny as a life is, you can go on that journey without thinking I gotta pay for a house. You don't gotta speak to me no more. That means there's no hard feelings. I'm not cursing you out like, yo, I bought you this house and you ain't speaking to me.
Right.
He's cutting it off. You can go be great.
But the first part of it, she was saying, stop calling my phone.
Oh, she said stop calling my
Right.
phone. Okay. Well, I don't know.
He said, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
He said that's
Hold on,
different.
what that
Yeah,
reggae
yeah.
song? If a girl, my God, let her go.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
So, how you feel?
I mean,
my phone.
man, listen. I would say I would just cut her off.
I think if this was true, I think he was looking at her to take the stand in his defense and whatnot. That's how I read it. You know what I mean? And it seemed like she wasn't trying to hear that or wasn't trying to help.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Funny as hell is that I guess it turned out that she said.
You gotta read that out loud, you know me, hooked on phonics.
Tory and Briggs, the rich kid share IG post following the message to Tory Lanez. Tory seemingly denies making the post.
That's Tory Briggs. She's saying she never said that. Clearly that wasn't me.
But she did, but it's documented though. Right?
Yeah, I mean they both posted on her story today, like that, like the whole thing I showed you at first, and now her claiming that she never posted it.
Yeah.
I like people in the comments is saying that she basically feel that she thought that she was gonna get a response that she didn't get, and now she's backtracking. So I was like, it could either be that, or it could have been someone who really did post it, like hacked her shit, or could have been her man's because she got a man or supposedly. Yeah. What y'all think?
I tell you what, man, I ain't too much into the he say she say situation.
Okay,
I mean, that's just my point of view with that stuff right there. But I mean, but that's still in that spirit, man. You know what I mean?
Life is life.
Okay.
Right. So at the end of the day, you're up.
Yeah.
You're up. Go be successful. If he paid for the house and you're living good right now, what's your next plan? Because keep talking about Tory ain't gonna pay next week's light bill.
That's a fact.
Just keep it pushing, shorty. If that's really what it is. If that's not what it is, if she didn't make the post, then she shouldn't really even worry about it. She shouldn't even address it. She should just call Tory and be like, Tory, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But what you need me to do? You need me to take the stand?
Right.
I'll be there Thursday.
That's real shit.
Whoa.
All right, so look, there's this clip right here. Let me see what y'all think about this.
If Meg Thee Stallion does not end up getting the very same sentence that was given to Tory Lanez, there is no justice system. I don't want a cancellation of Meg Thee Stallion. I don't want her to lose her career. No. I want her to get the exact same treatment that Tory Lanez got. Not just in the last 2 years where he has been incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated, for something that your own best friend did as a reaction and a response to your own messed up relationship with her. I want you to get the career gone. I want you to get the blackballing from the industry. I want you to get the 10 years plus in that jail cell. That's what I want. That's fair. That's fair.
What do you think about that?
This man was shanked 14 times.
That's facts.
14 times a couple of days ago in his cell. Meg, how do you make up for that? A man who's not supposed to be there, you go on public television, you lie not just to us, but you lie on your deceased mother, swearing up and down that this man did that to you. Meg, you deserve all that's coming for you. All of it. Every single bit of it. And to Mr. Witness over there, the bodyguard.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, bro. I listen to all that, bro. I mean, I don't know if it's just me in general. To me, that's all distractions, right? And people could probably say that's like cliche, but I don't know, bro. I'm not.
It might be a distraction. It could be a distraction for us, for you and I, but it's not a distraction for Tory, who's laid in the hospital.
No, I understand that, but.
So I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
there's a reason why I think my mind operates a little different when I see things like that. So I'm sort of, bro. I'm in this whole investment world, right? There's a reason why he's behind bars. That's a story that got painted, a narrative from something else stemming far beyond that. It's an unfortunate situation, but when you look at things like this in society, bro, like you see that almost like I'm not gonna say pretty much everywhere, and it's unfortunate in that sense. But I don't even know what to say, dog.
Okay.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I swear to God, you was going somewhere.
I was gonna go somewhere, but like I said, I'm gonna.
You want to speak?
Yeah, I don't want
choose
to.
your words carefully. And
Yeah,
whatnot?
I'm choosing my words carefully because I know what's
on.
going on behind the scenes, dog, and it's stemming behind what he got going on.
It's tricky.
It's a tricky situation. But go ahead, Mel.
Number one, ain't nothing gonna happen to Meg.
That's a shame. Is that a shame, or is that right, or is that wrong?
It's wrong.
Talk
But
to me.
we don't control that,
That's a fact.
right? So, at the end of the day, for opening your mouth and snitching back here, I'm going back to the snitching.
Hilarious.
For snitching back here,
He's consistent though.
this is
He's
what you gotta get. You gotta get these 14 pokes, bro. Cause you should have never. You know how many people's doing what you told them to do and they're making money without us?
Right.
We no longer have the slaves we wanted. We had a trajectory that we was gonna make this much this year, and off of what you said, we're only making this much.
Fucked it up.
Yeah, you change because there's a lot of people, like for example, there's a lot of people nowadays still want to get signed to a label.
Right.
They want to get assigned to a label because they say they want money,
Right.
but they don't realize the label's gonna give you about what 500,000 up front.
Okay.
They say $1 million, right? Well, whoever brokered the deal get his cut. The taxes come out.
Right.
Blah blah blah.
Right.
You down to 500,000.
Right.
You can make that 500,000 in 2 years, being consistent, dropping music, and promoting your own music. You told a whole generation that looked up to you to do that.
Right. Okay.
The label was counting on that generation to get at least 15 dudes that was gonna make it mega, and the other 50,000 that was just gonna be shelved, and we was gonna write you off. But you showed them a way how to make money. You gotta get poked up, bro.
Underline that a million times. What he just said.
You gotta get poked up.
He was what's called. He was supposed to die.
Yeah.
Definitely supposed to
Yeah.
die off of that.
Yeah.
But before that happened, remember he gave an interview and said, yo, I'm at one with myself, I'm at one with God, all that, and then that happens.
So what does that relate to? What do you think that relates to?
You still ain't shut up.
Shout out to Gabby Riel. She said, "Tell him." I'm thinking.
Yeah, be here. Be here.
Shout out
Gabby.
Shout out Gabby. So when you say you don't think nothing's gonna happen to Meg, what do you mean by that? And why
I
do you
mean,
say
like,
that?
there's not gonna be no public consequences for her
Why not?
because
If it was me, I mean, Meg, I'm sure Tory's not gonna move like this. But if it was me, I'm countersuing because I don't even know if you could that work like that. I would think you would definitely do that.
Yeah.
For defamation of character, all types of shit.
Yeah.
But then it's gonna bring up to the point where I said, why didn't you snitch at that point when you knew that the friend shot her? The footage dropped first of her hopping out the car and stepping on glass. Why didn't you say something in that time frame? Because you got the phone call. Don't say nothing. We're gonna take care of this. And what they did was they made a narrative for you. So even if you countersue, you're gonna need a lawyer like Cochran to really be like, yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I feel that. So nothing's gonna happen to Meg, you don't think?
Not publicly.
Okay.
Maybe her life be in shambles. Maybe she go through some stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
But publicly, nah.
So let me ask you this because
I know.
Earl want to stay in the same
public,
space.
Yeah.
So you think just between you and I, you think Jay-Z got anything to do with this?
Of course.
Okay.
That's head honcho.
I had to ask you the hard questions.
No.
It's not hard for his life.
But look like this. Jay-Z got a lot to do with a lot. You feel me? I don't knock him. He worked hard to be in that position to be able to control certain things. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But he knew what he wanted when he got in the rap game. Yeah, I'm not going platinum like Ja Rule. I'm not doing numbers like DMX. But one day I'll control this shit. That was it. That's what he said. That's what I said. If you gonna snitch all the way. Anything you set out for, go 100%. Whatever it is you set out for, if you're a prostitute, go 100%. Make it to the mansion. No, because what's the sense of half-assing it?
Right,
what's the sense of playing with it?
Right.
DJ Duya said, "What's up? What's good, Mick?"
Yo, what's good, Duya? What's good? We still gotta shoot that scene, bro.
What's your voice?
Well, what's it called?
Yeah, he got the radio
So
station.
my last thing on that is that I don't think Tory unlike 6ix9ine, Tory was trying to be an independent artist and give game as an independent artist. I don't think he was trying to snitch on the record labels.
No.
So when you say go hard, like if you're gonna do that, do that 100%.
I used the word snitch, but I didn't really mean to use the word snitch as in the word I'm snitching on somebody.
Right.
But look, boom. He comes out with a video. Yo, Interscope is doing me this. Interscope is doing me that. Shh. Have your lawyers take care of that. You went public with that.
Right.
Cool. You're off Interscope now. Yo, don't sign to no label. You could do this. You could sell an NFT.
Yeah.
You could do this. Yeah. You could do this. I made $1 million in one day. Shut the fuck up. You just got off the label after shitting on them.
Right.
They save face by letting you off the label.
It's bigger, bro.
And now you talking trash again?
Right. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Shush. Now the Megan thing come out.
Yeah.
Right? And for a week you stay quiet. Because you, in your mind, you knew that this Megan situation is based off the first 2 times you snitched. Snitch again. Put it in the atmosphere. Let everybody know what's going on.
Right.
But you're still quiet. Now you in jail.
So you don't think? So let me ask you this, because we're gonna get to the next topic. But you don't think him quote unquote snitch on the record label was him doing something positive?
No, it was positive.
All right, but look. So with that being said, if he were to snitch on Kelsey, he would be then like, think about what that would do to his reputation. He would be snitching on a black woman, sending a black woman to jail for 10 years for shooting another black woman. Like that puts him in a bad spot.
Yeah, you're right.
And the people, you know what the people do with narratives, they gonna run with that. Like,
So
he does
a story.
Especially with even with Megan Thee Stallion, they told her like, oh, he shot a black woman. He doesn't like black women. He hates black women. Blah blah blah. Like if he said a black woman, if he not like snitched on a black woman, sent her to jail. Oh, look at him snitching on a black. Not just snitching, he's snitching on a black woman. He sent a black woman to jail. Da da da. So it's like.
Let me just go to jail and get stabbed 14 times.
If he wouldn't have got stabbed 14 times.
No, but that's what he did.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You saying snitch on a black woman, but look, when I told you that Interscope was doing me dirty, that was the truth. When I told you I made $1 million off this NFT, I was telling you the truth.
Right.
If I tell you I didn't shoot her, this black woman shot her, the reason why she shot her is because I was sleeping with both of them, that's the truth.
Would that fall back on you?
What you mean?
Wouldn't that fall back on you if you slept with 2 black women and 1 black woman is shot by the other black woman that you were sleeping with? Doesn't that fall back? She wouldn't have shot her if it wasn't for Tory.
But if you telling the truth all the way, keep telling the truth.
Keep it a buck, yeah.
Don't. My thing is this, bro. If I say I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna flip flop. This is what I'm gonna do. And I know everybody don't live like that. Everybody don't subscribe to that.
Right.
But I look at it like, if this comes out your mouth, I'm holding you to that. That's how you gonna be.
Right.
So if you talking here, you gotta talk here. You gotta talk here. This should be your DNA. This should be your genetic makeup. This should be what you actually stand on.
Right.
Regardless of the backlash. Yo, yeah, I know it's crazy. I sent a black woman to jail. I didn't really send her to jail. She sent herself to jail. I told the truth that she shot her because she shot her. And you know what? Yeah, it is my fault. I slept with both of them. They both hot. They sexy.
Yeah.
You know, they both was enticing to me. I was weak, but I didn't shoot her.
Right.
My flesh was weak. I really liked her. Her friend was interesting. It was 2 different times. I'm wrong for that.
Now, Mal, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Before we get to the next topic. Compare that perception, perspective, and reputation, image, and whatnot, narrative, to Tory healing up, getting out of jail because he didn't do the shit. Compare those images. Like, I feel like he's gonna get like a parade throw from, like, he's gonna break the internet when he's out.
Oh yeah,
all that.
He will.
It's gonna go crazy.
It's part of the
Cat
narrative.
Williams interview.
It's part of the narrative.
It took 2 collapsed lungs.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
It's a story.
That's all I'm saying.
Right,
it took 2 collapsed lungs,
Right.
14 stabs, a couple stabs to the head, some bad food. That's what it took, and a couple years off the street. So if you're willing to sacrifice that for the parade, so be it.
I get what you're saying.
Because them 2 lungs, whoever resuscitated them, God was with him.
Facts.
Or God was on your side, like, yo, hold on, just take a nap. I'm gonna bring you in the hospital. I'm gonna stitch you up.
Yeah.
But it took 2 collapsed lungs.
Right.
So
Facts.
when you didn't open your mouth, you didn't know it was gonna take 2 collapsed lungs and this much time off the street.
Hell no.
And now, when you come back, you gotta hope that the generation that's listening to music is willing to listen to your new music, because as the generations get older, as we get older, the older people buy music less, right?
Right.
Because we got kids, we got stuff going on. I'm not buying that.
Changing.
I listen to this joint on the radio. Yeah, that was dope.
Right.
Download it for free. So if the 2 lungs and the stabbing and the time in jail is worth it, then that was his destiny.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. Yo, Mel.
No.
Earl, you got anything else?
Mel just explain it. I'm
Let's
good,
go
bro. I plead
Facts.
fifth on that stuff,
Plead the
man.
fifth.
I
Plead the
just know what I know, but yeah.
All right, best. Well, I got a topic where you're not gonna plead the fifth. Where
Damn.
it's gonna be just because you're not gonna want it. It's gonna be
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be off the industry, off of Hollywood,
Oh, yeah.
no
Okay.
career stuff. But it is a deeper. I feel like somewhat of a deeper topic. Do y'all know what black fatigue is?
I mean,
No, right? Yo, I didn't know what black fatigue was until like last week.
I feel black fatigue.
You feel black fatigue?
Well, I don't know.
Break
the
it down to me before y'all go.
I got hold
No,
on. No,
we in a good spot. We in a good spot.
Well, I'm gonna say I don't know the terminology. I'm a man of color,
Right.
And
You
I'm
got the-
fatigued, bro.
Watch this. No,
All right.
watch this. Stay
Go
right there.
ahead.
Stay right
Go
there.
ahead.
Now, he's right by saying that. But I'm about to show you something that like flips the script. This shit got 80,000 views.
Okay.
This one,
How
one of my
many
TikToks.
views? 80,000.
80,000 right
Okay,
here.
all right.
So I'm about to
Copy
pass
that.
that off.
Go ahead.
Okay, so does anyone know what black fatigue is? This woman is gonna explain it for us.
As black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, camaraderie, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. I think sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport, like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired.
And this is in response to the Shiloh Hendrix girl calling the 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word repeatedly. And what's funny is the original meaning of black fatigue is a term describing the physical, emotional, and psychological toll that racism, discrimination, and the constant need to assert black identity and dignity takes on individuals. It's a cumulative state of exhaustion and weariness resulting from the ongoing struggle against systematic and individual acts of racism.
Right.
So once again, certain white...
So you feel black fatigue?
Yo, I'm gonna say this.
Let's hear him out. Because yo, before I don't mean to
No,
cut you off.
go ahead.
Why I said he was right is because like I said in the video, like I assume he's explaining that the original version of black fatigue, like the fatigue, the exhaustion that black people feel from America and how white Americans treat or discriminate or racist against black people and whatnot, all those different injustices and whatnot. So I'm assuming that's what you meant, or did you mean what she meant?
Whoa.
Hot seat.
Yeah.
I see. Just get it out of her. No, really and truly, bro. My first answer in relation to that, meaning like I feel that this might not work to everybody. Let's just say this in general. You know, I work numerous amount of jobs, right? Just to keep ends meet, right? Yo, bro, I'm fatigued.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the first initiation when I thought of black fatigue, because let's be real, like when you look at it, culture body folks, they do work hard, maybe 10 times, 100 times harder than a lot of other people, just to get to a certain tier or stature, you know what I'm saying, to provide.
Okay.
You dig? So now when you see something like this now, bro, there's a lot of trauma in the community, dude. There's a lot of unhealed sectors within that of people of color, right? And this stems way beyond even now, right? And things could be trying to get wiped out or whatever, but again, our issues are in our tissues. These are things this generation after generation, right? There's a lot of unhealed. There's a lot of work that we need to do within ourselves, because there's a lot of projections being put out there, right? And if you, bro, in being a driver, you know what I'm saying? When you close up on something, an object or anything like that, right? You can only see but so far.
Okay.
But when you pump the brakes a little bit, slow down, you can see the bigger picture.
Okay.
Meaning, like, when you slow down, you can see things ahead of you, right? And in reference to that statement and that terminology is that what happened is that they're painting a narrative of how us as cultural body folks act, behave, right? Because first thing she said, yo, people be a ratchet, da-da-da. Yo, just the other day, you know, I was working at my job, some dude came up to me, and the first thing, he was like, you know, he's a Caucasian gentleman, and he came up to me, he was like, oh my gosh, yo, I can't believe this. He said the N-word. I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But right? And this is on my job.
Yeah.
And he was explaining, he's like, yo, these two people of color was fighting on the bus. But what's the first thing they do? Everybody's recording it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's tired of watching this, but social media, right? It's an open web that, you know, a lot of people are viewing things are being recorded, and you know, look, bro. At the end of the day, there's a lot of unhealed people, and the first thing we need to do is obviously seek counseling, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's a deeper subject, but I mean that's as far as with me discussing about this stuff, because I see it. Because, you know, we could all play into the narrative, right? But we have to change our mindset in a lot of areas, and it's a lot. It's a lot, bro.
Man, what you think?
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not beating around the bush, but yo,
so look.
It's deep, dude.
Yeah, talk to me, man.
To me, everything you said was dope, but the best thing you said is mindset. Because black fatigue is only black fatigue if you subscribe to certain things.
Well, which black fatigue? Because the original black fatigue is for black people, and now white people have taken on black fatigue that are, from my perspective, racist. They're saying like she said, whether you're ghetto or you're fighting or whatever.
Okay, so
which black fatigue are you speaking on?
I'm speaking on both.
Okay.
In the sense of this. There's only. Have you experienced racism? Have you experienced racism?
Of course.
Okay. In what capacity?
Discrimination.
What happened? What's the situation?
Not in like I haven't been like anything like abused or whatnot, but I faced it in the terms of having to work much harder in different spaces than other white people.
Okay. What about you?
Man.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not gonna go deep, bro. I want to keep it, you know, above the surface. But I have, bro. You know, it comes with the territory. This is to say this. When you stand out, especially for men of color, it gets uncomfortable, and not to you, but to people around you. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to some people. Sometimes you have to kind of, I don't want to say go down to the level, but just to ice the situation and just keep moving because you have a bigger initiative. But I think I've been a victim of that, but you know, and it was a part of life that I felt that, this is some BS.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it takes healing, man. You gotta know you gotta know who you are.
That's a fact.
So that's why I was gonna go.
I'm sorry.
I just want to answer your question again one more time. Because you asked when I've experienced racism and whatnot. I'm thinking as a kid, like that is true as a kid, as a young adult. But as far as like recently, like as far as the social media is concerned, I was telling you I've gotten like that many views, that many comments. My cut of comments right now is flooded with racist.
Okay.
So I'm getting mad different. I'm getting mad. Oh, I didn't even know people talk like that still.
It's
it's bad because people are more confident behind the phones and behind the anonymous accounts and all that. But please, I just want to answer your question again.
So. But how does it affect you now that you see those comments?
How does it affect me now?
Yeah.
I gotta keep pushing.
So, when you say black fatigue, I experienced it when I was younger and not enlightened because I was trying to fit into a system that I'm not cut out for.
It's not made for you.
It's not made for me.
Right.
And the more I try to fit in, of course I'm going to receive it. You doing this podcast, you doing your art, you're in your own lane.
Facts.
Now, if we look at history of America, black people's always been in their own lane.
Right.
It was when that dude, and I don't want to, because it's going to turn crazy, when that dude wanted to go like this, we felt like wanting to be accepted by them.
Okay.
And then when we wanted to be accepted by them, that's when it came.
Or I like this guy.
when we didn't have that, right?
Yeah.
We were that. We didn't experience that.
I mean, yes.
We
before,
did it.
Before coming to America, because when we came to America, when we was stolen from our country, you know what I mean?
Well,
Type shit.
Well, I'm going to say this. Even when we were stolen from our country, we created...
Or continent.
So basically, at the end of the day, everything we see running right now came from us.
Facts.
Tech. I mean,
Just tech,
down
the
the list.
bus system, the light, the everything.
on the list. Yeah.
That's because they wanted to be like this. If we fought to stay separated, they would be over there like cave people, and we'd be up here. Once you go like this, you're opening the door for that black fatigue. Because somebody's gonna look at you like, yo, you think you all that? You ain't.
Yeah.
Right.
You not like me.
Yeah.
Facts of life.
I worked so
Facts
many
of life.
jobs. Look, I worked my last job that I worked. I went to the job the last day I worked there. I took the terminal, I threw it in the air, and looked at the boss, and I walked out. You know why? Yo, I'm coming here. I got experience from my previous job. Blah blah blah. I'm doing my thing. He comes to me. Yo, I'm gonna give you a raise. I know you got to give me a raise. I'm experienced. I'm banging the work out.
Right.
Look at my check. The raise ain't there. All right, it's going prorate for the next week.
Right.
The raise ain't there.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks now, no raise. Yo, what's up? The raise ain't
games.
there.
Playing games.
Son comes in, he gives me an envelope. Here, the raise is $50. No, not $50. It's $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the raise.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, cool. You know what? I quit. Boom. You know what I do? I go, yo, why I ain't get my checks direct deposit? Yo, you didn't bring back the uniforms. Okay, here's your uniforms. I think I'm picking up 2 checks. I picked up 3 checks.
Okay.
That's all the raises that they was holding. But because they felt like I wanted to be in their system, they want to take advantage of me.
Right.
They go to black fatigue.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't need to be in your system. I'm nice.
Yeah.
I'm nice.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm nice.
That's that New York in them.
No.
Or not.
Your veteran drivers can't do what I do. I'm coming with experience.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I'm checking the route. Yo, y'all give me a fucked up route. I'm gonna move my boxes here. I'm gonna move this. I'm taking a route like this.
Right. Yeah.
Now I'm finishing early. And that's the black fatigue, because you thought I needed this so much that you was gonna do whatever you want with me. Now I'm showing you I don't need you. And you like, damn, you thought he was gonna conform.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not up for the games. That's where the black fatigue come in. When you at somewhere where they think you need to fit in, they take advantage of you, and then that's when you got to get ratchet.
Now,
and then
when you say, I don't mean to cut you off. When you say that's where the black fatigue comes in, who are you speaking in regards to? Are you speaking in black fatigue in you or black fatigue in them? Because, like I said, they've twisted the term, so I'm trying to make sure you.
They ain't got no black fatigue.
Okay.
Point blank.
As far as white people?
Yeah,
Okay.
the system is set for them.
Right.
I got
Exactly.
a friend, comes from out of state. He lives here now, and he's always complaining. I said, bro, and you know what my other bro said? He's Spanish. He's like, yo, you wasting all that good white skin?
He said that to you?
No, he said that to my boy that came from out of state.
Okay.
You wasting that good white skin? What are you complaining about? You can walk in any place, get a job, and be top supervisor in 20 hours.
Wait, the Mexican said that?
He's
I'm trying to-
Mexican.
Hold
No.
on. You said the Mexican said that, right?
My Spanish
Oh,
friend.
Spanish.
My Spanish.
That's
Did
funny
you get
as
that
fuck.
correct?
No. Because at the end of the day, his stature, where he's coming from,
Right.
As long as you get a job, they're gonna move you
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Right?
That's funny that he just said it like that. I would expect that from someone black, honestly.
Well,
But he was from New York. He was from the city.
Yeah.
So,
listen, if you're around me, we gotta cut it straight because
Right.
we don't want them goggles where we thinking, no, let's cut it straight so we could get to where we need to get to. Because the more you have clear thinking, we could climb together. Any fogging, we ain't gonna do it. It's gonna be turmoil somewhere. So my Spanish friend told him like, yo, you wasting.
Let me ask y'all this: Is y'all good? Y'all cold? Are you cold?
oh no, are you
You
cold?
cold? I didn't see how.
Oh, there's a lot of heat over here. That's why it's warm.
Yeah.
I got the air on.
I mean,
We'll make it a little bit warmer type shit.
yeah, it's all good.
And at the end of the day,
No problem.
You want my sweater? Think much.
But talk to me now.
at the end of the day,
This is a good breakdown.
I was at another job, right? I was working for the Mazel Tov Caps, right?
Okay.
And there was some Latin people there, some black people there. That's all they had working for them. And they treated me like God.
Mm.
You know why? Because I knew what I was there for. I wasn't there to make friends with him, there to make friends with him. You're paying me to do a service, let me do my service and let me leave.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Anything other than that, I'm opening the door to black fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
That's a good flip on the spirit.
No, but that's how I look at it. Because if I want to be friends with you, you're going to try to entice me to do something that the boss ain't going to like.
Mm.
And I ain't come here to be friends with you. I came here to get a check. If he says deliver, I deliver. I punch out, I go home.
Mm.
I don't run this, he run this.
Mm.
That's it.
I get that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So what's your take on it, bro?
On the black fatigue thing, ask me a question. Like directly. What do you mean? What's my take on it?
I mean, you asking this, what is black fatigue? What does that mean to you?
I know what it means. Like I was asking at first. I asked y'all if y'all familiar. I just now recently learned what it meant.
Copy.
Because honestly, I was getting it. I was seeing in my comments like because I got mad racist in my comments.
Yeah.
So someone said "and fatigue," and I was like, they must have meant "and fatigue."
Yeah.
But they
But
meant nigger fatigue.
I mean,
Yeah.
So it's like that, and it's like, and then I saw that video with that woman who was breaking it down. Honestly, there was a couple viral racist women that went down to Charlotte Hendricks, the girl calling the 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word or whatnot. Her, there was another one that was defending. They're both, that one and the other one I'm thinking of, were defending the Charlotte Hendricks girl who also got like $500,000 or $600,000 from GoFundMe's from the racist. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's as far as go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the word, the N-word?
How do I feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of what?
Like, if another race call you the N-word, how would you feel
I'm not
about
jacking
it? Okay. Why?
Because first off, it depends on if especially if they're white. Historically, like that's not a goal. Historically, that's associated with racism. Historically, it's associated white people. It's derivative from white people who oppressed and discriminated and abused and slaughtered black people. So it's like, as a white person, you shouldn't even want to say that. But because you see so many black people, black communities, black rappers, artists, fashion people, whatever, TV stars using that word, you just want to use it just to fit in, but you don't. It's not for you. Does that make sense?
So, do you think a white person could be an N-word?
I mean, I think in a funny like type way, like slang wise, but obviously not.
Okay. No. So, I don't subscribe to me being a nigger.
Okay.
There's nothing about me. I'm enlightened, regardless of how I look, regardless of my braids, my sag, my appearance. What's the definition of nigger?
It's negative. I don't know.
Look it up.
Let's look it up.
So,
In real time.
if somebody try to call me that, I wouldn't even respond to them because I'm not that.
You know what's funny? Because of quote unquote my black fatigue, I've always obviously been around the word, but I'm sure at one points in my life I've known the exact definition, but in my adulthood, I wouldn't look it up except for like instances like this, just because like before doing the podcast and before like the different like now I'm doing like little TikTok videos and whatnot on like people like Tyler Chase Butler and the 5-year-old kid and whatnot and different things of that nature. I would, if there was a black crime or a racial crime or driven crime or whatnot, I would kind of like not turn a blind eye to it, but shield myself from it because of black fatigue. Like, oh, this is like a story all this time, a trigger. It's just like it's just repetitive at this point and whatnot. Well, let me get this definition. And I know not. So that's the difference. Before I read the definition, that's the difference between the hard R and the A.
Yeah.
Like, because when someone says when black men, black women, the black community says like, oh, he's a real nigga, I'm a real nigga, da da da. Like, they're not saying they're hard R's, like type shit. So the hard R is a contemptuous term for a black or dark skinned person. Like, that's not even as like that's not what it should be. No. Here goes another one. It says, in the English language, the N-word is a racial slur directed at black people. Started in the 1990s. I thought it was earlier than that.
It was way earlier than that.
This is from Wikipedia.
This
is crazy. The term. So I'm going through different sources right now.
I got you.
All right, so let me read a couple more. The meaning of the N-word is used as insulting, contemptuous term for a black person. How to use N-word. The term N-word is not now probably the most offensive word in English. Its degree of offensiveness has increased markedly in recent years. Although it has been, all right, this is probably the best one. I had to click the site on it.
Nah, I just.
All right. Extremely disparaging and offensive, a contemptuous term used to refer to a person of any racial or ethnic origin regarded as contemptible, inferior, ignorant, etc. Offensive, now rare, a victim of prejudice similar to the suffered by black people, a person who is economically, politically, or socially disenfranchised.
And that's the definition why that word, you could say it and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't talking about me. No. It sounds crazy, and
but
people
you should care because if they not they're not talking about you by description, but they talking about you by who they mean it for.
You might mean it for me,
I feel
but you don't know me. And at the end of the day, I'm so secure with myself that you look like the nigga for even using the word nigga.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm conducting myself in a manner where you won't even have to use that word.
Right. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So once you start using that word, you're showing yourself up. And that's how, I don't know if it's a defense mechanism. I might need therapy myself.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's how it works in my brain.
That's fine though. That's smart. That's first off, like, hey, when you said you could use therapy, I feel like in the black community that's like a shunned there's a stigma and negativity about it. So it's like that's a one green flag with you, and the other one to look at it from that perspective. That's also, I feel like I have a similar.
No, I know you do, bro. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I have a similar perspective. I just wouldn't say that initially because it's a layered.
I know.
It's a layered conversation. But it's similar to what we were talking about before, where we were talking about different stances and whatnot. So this is a different stance. You gotta, for someone who is racist, 9 times out of 10, when the racist comments in my comments or whatever, they're dumb. Like,
and I'm
they're
gonna tell you
dumb,
something.
and they're cowardly and all types of
I'm gonna tell you something. The racist people in your comments want to be your friend so bad.
Probably.
No, I know they do.
Yo, check this out.
Cause you killing it, bro.
I appreciate
That's why they come in with the racist comments. Because before I could be your friend, I gotta try to tear him down, see where you stand, and it be like that a lot of times.
But even that's dumb though, because anyone trying to tear me down ain't gonna be my friend.
But that's where they become a nigger at, because they're not enlightened enough to say, yo, just give this man his flowers and say, yo, look, I didn't agree with some things on your show, but yo, you killing it. Instead, I gotta try to write something negative,
right?
Bring you down.
Which, in two senses, it help you because any publicity is good publicity in this world, But instead of them reaching out and just saying, yo, like, bro, good show.
Right.
I didn't agree on some things, but I'm tuning in.
Which is funny that you say that because that is in the, I don't even want to say necessarily the black community because, yes, it is in the black community, but I also think that it is higher likelihood in where, not necessarily where from because y'all from the city, but around here, and even in the city, but there are different places like down south or in the, like just different places in the country and definitely outside the country that black communities thrive from supporting one another and whatnot. So it's like, it's weird, but it also is a point to that it's not a black thing.
Yeah.
Like there are white people that you can look at like that. Yeah. I wouldn't give them that because that gives them, they'll be like, the fuck do you mean? But then you would have to explain it. And I'm not giving not giving that much energy.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying. But when you talking in these type of circles,
not giving that energy.
It's like minded people. You if you know, like type shit like that. And we can have a conversation. And it's. I just seen this TikTok. It was this girl who was I'm gonna say this and get off it real fast.
Right.
She was explaining she went to Kendrick and SZA concert. Yeah. I just gave her flowers because she was explaining how uncomfortable she was at the concert because of all the white people there. And Kendrick and SZA's, more so Kendrick's, most of Kendrick's music is made for black people, being a black man that came from black struggles, different things like that, saying the N-word, and now when she's around so many white people who are then singing, like, she laughed about, like he performed all right. And she was like, imagine a whole bunch of white people singing all right, like singing, we gonna be all right or whatever. And it's like, what are you gonna be all right? She said, what are you gonna be all right about? Like, getting burnt by the sun or some shit like that. So it's like, y'all, like, in that space, it's very uncomfortable in that space because you have to, no matter how you word it, you're not gonna really understand. You can sympathize, but you're not gonna feel, and you're not gonna have the lived experience, the years of experience, the decades of experience, the hundreds of years of experience, So it's like, it's funny, and it's a funny concept, and it's a layered, like obviously a layered complex concept, but in rooms like this, it's nothing complicated about it. Yeah. So it's fine.
Right. Yeah. Yo, bro, I'm listening to you speak, bro. Yo, straight up, I'm about to add this to something you were just saying.
Yeah, talk to me.
I attended I went to the Mega Institute, and shout out to Resma. I can't remember his last name, I'm butchering this, but he created, he has a book, right? Mm-hmm. I think In My Mother's Hands, if I'm correctly, something like this, or something about his mother's hands. So anyway, he's going through this. He sort of kind of did a on-the-spot case study. He had culture body folks and white people in the room, and we're going around, and he'll tell you to stop, and whoever's in front of you, you have to feel their energy, right? And there was a lot of discomfort, and it was very uncomfortable, right? So he kept on doing that. Then he separated everybody. He had them go to another location outside of that premises, and he get the culture body. He ran the same experiment.
Hell yeah.
Bro, so when you was talking, I'm listening, bro. That moment, because I was in there, there was such, because of, I don't know if it was the diaspora of just the spiritual connection that us as culture body have, dude. There was such a connection, bro, and comfortability. Yeah, it was unreal.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kudos to because I'm listening to what you're saying, dog. And by the way, this podcast, I see where you're going with it. It's dope what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
I dig the perspective and the angle that you're coming at this, and it's different. But yeah. So, yeah, man. Give me your flowers, dog.
Yo, no. What's funny is how when you talk, and I'm not. I don't mean to bust your chops.
Bust my chops, bro.
It's not even busting your chops for real.
I beat around the bush.
It's funny. No, it's like you. I feel like she could attest to this.
Oh yeah, of course you know.
It's what's it called? You're talking, and it's mad. You're talking well, obviously. Yeah. I just feel like you don't know how to land.
I don't, bro. I'm an airplane. Yo, hold on. Yo, bro, I always dream. Yo, we have it. Actually, this morning.
Yeah, that's funny as shit. How'd that go? What do you mean? What was it? I wasn't there.
Nah, well, we discussed it in the car too. Even with him, No, but on the real, bro.
I don't think that. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't think it's really rambling for real. But it's like when you're done talking, it's like you don't know how to conclude it or whatever.
I don't
wrap it up.
I don't know. Wrap
but
it up.
again, like usually when someone says wrap it up, when someone says wrap it up,
I know cut though.
That's why I'm different with it, because when someone says wrap it up or cut or whatever it is, that means that you're talking too long. You're not even talking too long.
Yeah, right.
It's like you're not. It's like if you're like you were supposed to land here and you don't know how to land it here.
Right.
Like you just don't know how to wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like you're not talking too much.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know how to conclude it. Like
right.
an essay that's a conclusion.
Correct. And you know, it's funny. I'm gonna put this out there because you know, in school I had a speech impediment and all these other things. So I didn't. So I didn't know how. I'm gonna just put that out there. I didn't know. I didn't.
Sped money.
Yes. Yo, for me to read it. No, but
I feel hooked on phonics. So
hey, I think that worked. I don't know if that worked for me, but no, really and truly though, bro. Like even in that setting, because I mean, so this kind of goes along with upbringing, how you were brought up. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's trauma behind of that, right? Mm-hmm. You know, not to get into the details, but yeah, I do have. I was dreaming of flying, so I don't know how to land.
I like that you made it poetic. I like that.
Poetic justice, baby.
That's fine. I'll take that. See,
I mean,
you need to use that for like the years
to
come until you figure out how to land. That's what you run with.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good. I fuck with that.
Yeah, but shout out to the cultural body folks who's doing therapy because it works.
Next thing, what are you? What are you made of? Like, what's your parents?
My parents, both of my parents are from Jamaica. I'm first generation here.
You're 100% Jamaican? Well,
I'm Jamaican. I'm born Jamaican. I'm born here. Both of my parents from Jamaica, so I'm first generation here.
But you're all black though.
Well, my dad is Jamaican and Irish. A part of
okay.
So
okay.
A lot of people. No, hold on. Yo, bro, they call it redskin, man. Redskin.
Oh shit.
Yo, but hold up though. Got him.
There it is.
Got him. All right, so part of the, obviously, look, bro, part of the whole slave trade.
Don't matter.
A lot of people don't like to claim that. I get it.
Yeah.
But listen, we're all part of the whole colonization situation.
Yeah.
And I did my lineage situation. You know, there's distant relatives from Scotland, and they migrated to Jamaica, and it's a part of the island where where my father's from, St. Elizabeth, where they call them redskin. They're very fair skinned. And that's where my dad was from, and obviously both my parents from Jamaica.
Yeah, my dad's from Jamaica.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He passed. Actually, it's coming up on a year since he passed.
Oh,
yeah. There's the whole story behind that. But
no. Ain't no fuck.
No, it's not. No,
he
bro.
He got a personal angel now.
Bro, even right
he
there.
He got his head.
Even up there's this little heart. So I tell you what, and right there, I have it, yo, bro. This is crazy. Yo, that's bro. My dad died of a heart attack. The knife one got him out, but check this out. I see hearts
everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
I didn't. That's funny. I never seen that. I've been here for like a year. I've never seen that.
Hello, and look right there.
Yeah. I see it more there.
Bro.
I kind of see a heart though. I see what you're saying. It's a thick ass heart. It's a thick ass heart. That's a heart. He can't even see it.
This right here.
See,
he's saying this hole. That hole.
But guess what though? It's not meant for other people.
Yeah, it's for you. It's
the message and signs.
Yeah, I get you.
But guess what? I'm in tune to it.
Right.
So I understand there's a correlation and connection to that. But I'm honoring that. But
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to your pops.
Yeah. But look, bro. At the end of the day, we're here on a journey, and whether you tapped in or tapped out, you gotta plug in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a different egg. Like you said I ramble all over the place, but I don't know how to land. But that's just part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, but even with that, this is why who I am, bro. I connect, bro.
No, I like it. That's fire.
I connect.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I connect how other people connect, but I connect.
Yeah.
Connect for, baby.
And you're definitely good, like, socially. Like, you're definitely good in social areas. The shit that we was at,
the gala.
Shout
out to Seasons.
I was in and out of that joint because I'm not really,
you feel awkward.
Unless it's my joint, unless I'm running it,
right?
I'm not going to somebody else's. Unless I'm running it, it's my joint, or I'm getting honored at it, or something like that.
Right, I see what you're saying.
It doesn't like. You know what I mean? It's like that's why I respect you, because you was like the life of the party, like you and your partner and whatnot. So it's like y'all was doing your thing.
Yeah.
But it's like I showed up there dolo. I didn't bring my girl or nothing like that. So it was just like awkward because like if you know me, then you're gonna gravitate towards me. Like 9 times out of 10, we're in the spaces that I've been around and whatnot. Absolutely. So it's like, but if you don't know me, and I gotta mingle, I gotta do all that.
It's not too many people. Not too many people tap into that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Cheat code. That's why I roll with him.
Right. Yeah.
I'm more like you.
Yeah.
And then he be like, yo, this my man, and then I just fall back. And then when it's time for business, yo, let's
you need
get
an
to
Earl.
it. Yeah.
But more,
and that's why Earl can play different hats.
Yeah.
Like he could be like you was talking about. You could be Tory's manager.
Yeah.
He could be people's agents and shit.
I definitely can't be Tory.
You could be his man's at least and be like, yo, man, you gotta.
Like
look,
you gotta
you gotta snitch. You gotta keep snitching right now.
Yo, people may not understand me, bro, because I'm obviously we're all different. But again, because of I'm not saying I was in the streets, but I just been around so many different diaspora people, especially hanging with my pops. My pops was everywhere. Yeah. So I got to see from a back end. I was quiet my whole life. Mm-hmm. So I was able to analyze behavior, and no matter what race, religion, creed, or you are, bro, right. I'm in Saratoga. I'm up there chilling. Not really partying, but behind the scenes, hanging with the people who run the businesses. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not there just to... I connect.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not there, we all, look, at the end of the day, we're all kind of connecting, looking for a leg up, but building relationships. And that's the key. You know what I mean?
That's a real strength of yours. So it's like, use that shit wisely and it's going to open doors like we talked about type of shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough of black fatigue. You know what we going to get
into
next?
Are you tired?
I'm tired. You know what we're about to get into next? Cassie versus Diddy. What y'all off rip? What y'all think about that? Off rip. I just want to hear your first impressions of when you hear Cassie versus Diddy. Cassie took the stand in the Diddy case, Diddy trials. What's that? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Let me hear that.
Yeah, man. Again, I'm not into.
I'm not into it. Oh, you about
to
get into?
I'm not into it. I know you're mixing too. I always been a Diddy fan. I don't care what nobody say. I always want to be the person dancing in the video. Shit.
Okay, take that.
You know what I mean? But seeing all this, it's crazy because you see all the people that you look up to. Yo, bro, and they getting it right now. And you notice more now than ever.
Yeah. Okay.
And you wonder why.
Well, give me examples.
Huh?
More than ever. You said this now more than ever. So give me examples.
Well, look at it. Everybody, it's a major shift going on.
Let me hear it.
Right? You look, bro. You look at. What should I say?
I'll give you one. Bill Cosby.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
Now, but look at everything behind that. Cosby was trying to get access to the networks, right? He was trying to acquire.
He was trying to buy CB. Yeah.
Right? Now, that's a major move. Now, you can go down the list. Michael, anybody who trying to acquire?
Yeah, level up.
So look. That goes back to black fatigue.
Okay.
I was
trying to get out of that.
You know why that goes to black fatigue?
Talk to me.
Because you're trying to fit in the system that they allowed you to be in instead of making your own system that you could be in.
Oh, damn.
That's all it boils down to.
Yo.
And if you got faith in yourself and they gave you the publicity to make you who you are, you can start your own and you're going to be successful. But you were trying to be in their system. It's not made for you.
So isn't Bill Cosby, when he mentioned Bill Cosby just now, wasn't it that him trying to own a network, right?
Yeah.
But Oprah owns a network.
Okay.
But hold up.
But Oprah plays the game.
She played the game.
So you think Bill Cosby didn't play the game?
No.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, but if Bill Cosby owns a network, right, he's going to want to control it. He's going to want to put the same thing that he was putting on the Cosby Show out on his network.
Unity.
Black doctors, black household, family, right?
Ain't that what Oprah does?
No.
What?
Oprah tried to take down Michael Jackson. Oprah tried to take down this one. Yeah. Oprah would bring us on and rip us apart right on her show.
Damn.
So who's Oprah working for?
I feel you. I hear you.
That's
it.
All
right, let's I got another one for you. Jay-Z got Rock Nation. First billionaire out of hip hop.
But look what he did again.
Jay-Z ain't got Rock Nation.
Rock
Nation was around. They bought Jay-Z's likeness to get us over there. That's the real drop.
You say Rock Nation was around before Jay-Z?
Yes. Look it up.
No way. I'm gonna look it up.
Listen,
when was
he
Rock
had
Nation
Rockefeller.
founded?
Rock Nation always been around, just like
Rock.
Revolt always been around, and they just took Puffy. Revolt owns MTV.
So they
These
bought out the business.
Rock Nation was founded on April 1st, 2008. It was established by Jay-Z. What are we talking about? I'll look
My bad.
Oh,
No. You're right. But who owns Rock Nation?
He said who owned it.
Huh?
Who owns Rock Nation?
Who owns it now, currently?
Live Nation.
Live Nation is who you're talking about.
Where's Live Nation
I
been?
don't fucking know. We're not talking about Live Nation. Live Nation is like a
but Rock Nation.
promoter.
Yeah, but Rock Nation is a subsidiary of Live Nation.
I don't know that to be true, brother.
You got to look it up.
Maybe that is true, but that still don't diminish the
All
fact that
right.
Jay-Z owns
So I'm
Rock
wrong.
Nation. That's okay.
No.
I respect you for admitting.
No. It's okay.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. But at the end of the day, what is Jay-Z doing?
Being a billionaire.
Exactly. What are the artists getting out of him being a billionaire?
Millions.
Whoa. Almost every...
Like J. Cole
Okay.
and Rihanna,
Okay.
who's a billionaire, and Kanye West,
Mhm.
who's a billionaire. That's a big three right there.
No, you're absolutely right. They're all still managed by Rock Nation.
Are they? Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
What they got put on by Rock Nation. We chatted up. So
No.
talk to you.
Yeah. Now, I may be wrong because I haven't, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I know that a lot of them had to retreat because they realized they wasn't doing nothing.
No, there is because with his Rockefeller shit, mad people fell out like Beans and Being Single and what's Dame Dash and whatnot. So it's like, but that's also business too because they started that shit together. He went a different direction. Like he was Jay-Z, then made Rock Nation, and got Kanye and all these different people and whatnot. So it's like that's what else. And Rock Nation ain't the only thing he does. He got Duce and Rock Nation, fucking sports and all types of businesses that really made him a billionaire type shit. So it's just like But
I respect Jay-Z.
But to your point, it's very rare. Like I'm giving you rare examples. Like Oprah and Jay-Z are rare examples. Like it's not a bunch of black billionaires out here, especially in America. So it's like you're right. Your point is right. I was just giving you the playing devil's advocate basically.
No. But
your initial point anyway. When you was like saying that they don't want black people to like basically be owners of the system and whatnot. Like you in
Pretty
the system,
much.
they don't want you to outstep your reach. But that's why I said like Jay-Z and Oprah. But that's like those are one out of millions. Billions type shit. So what your initial point obviously is still right. It makes sense. I don't even know where the fuck we was talking about Cassie and Diddy.
My fault.
That's how the podcast go. But you said it went back to black fatigue and whatnot.
Yeah.
But as far as Cassie and Diddy, where did that go from? Like where did that the black fatigue come and play with that?
Now, all right.
You got to backtrack. You got to retrace your steps.
Yeah, because I was talking about Diddy, and obviously we looked up to him and stuff like that. But then I forgot what was the catalyst.
So my thing with Cassie and Diddy is Cassie got her bag already.
Let me say this before you get to that. Cassie takes witness stand to testify in Diddy's sex trafficking trial. Cassie testified that Combs would mash her head, drag her, kick her, and stomp her in the head when she was down. Cassie testified that her relationship with Combs ran the gamut, from good times to arguments and physical altercations. If there were violent arguments, it would usually result in some sort of physical abuse and dragging, just different things, Cassie told jurors. Cassie testified that Combs would mash her head, said that. Cassie was asked briefly about freak-offs as she was shown still images from the now infamous 2016 security footage, Combs beating her at Los Angeles hotel, so on and so forth. What we think now? What's our thoughts now?
How long was Cassie with Diddy for?
16 years, I think.
16?
I want to say 16
Okay,
years.
okay. Now you can run with that. Let's just do 10, right?
Let's do 10.
Let's
I
do
think
10
I'm
to
about
be
to say
safe.
12, but
Let's do 10 for safety.
10 years.
Right? Yeah, just 10. It's not too much. It's not too little,
This is
right?
about to get interesting. Go ahead.
So now, after 10 years being with the smash head dude, you just got tired of it. And you got cashed out. He's on a racketeering charge right now.
She got cashed out years later.
Yeah, because you got tired of it. Because within those 10 years, I'm pretty sure that abuse ain't start on the 10th year. That abuse started on the second to third year. You can't tell me on the 10th year he just started and you like, I want out. No, this was going on for a minute.
But she got cashed out years after the breakup.
Okay, yeah. But you got cashed out because you broke up with him. You was tired of it. You was like, yo, I want my just due. Like, nigga, pay me. My head ain't even the same shape as I was born no more, right? Cool. My joint... It ain't the same shape.
She came over.
It ain't the same shape no more. I let you stomp. I let you Diddy bop on my joint. That's cool.
No, if we get canceled, I'll blame you.
Hey, you guys.
Nah, you going to the top, bro.
My man took the
At the end of the day,
he's a goon.
all right. Now the government is bringing me in after I cashed out.
Yeah.
I really ain't got nothing to say. I got my 30 million. I'm with my personal trainer. We having a baby.
She got something to say because she got cashed out and now she's testifying. So she got shit to say.
No, they're forcing her to testify.
Who's forcing her?
The government.
There are some people saying that they're not testifying.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
It's Aubrey, because I just seen something that said Aubrey from Danny the King.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh, okay,
She was supposed to be, but she's
not.
not.
Okay.
But she said her stance is that she feels that she was vocal about her experiences, that she feels vindicated, like was what. She said.
Okay. So I don't got all the facts, but I thought they was forcing Cassie after she got the bag, because I'm like, after you got the bag, just go sit down.
Now I don't think that you can force people to testify. I think that you have to.
You have to willingly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well then.
Yeah.
Even jurors or whatever could be like, oh, I got a family emergency type shit. I can't do it.
Yeah. No, you gotta be there, bro. Yeah.
What do you think, guy?
Me, you already know me, bro. I'm out of that loop, bro. I don't follow too much of what's going on about the drama. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with that.
That's
Yeah. It's just, to me, it's all distractions, dog.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, it's not really.
It is a distraction for society.
For society,
but it's also like when you're dealing with when it's shit like Trump shit or whatever the case is, or like them going to fucking like Katy Perry and Gayle King going to space or whatever.
Right.
Like that's a distraction.
That's a distraction. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this is not a distraction, but it's like. It's dealing with real people's lives. Like Diddy's really in jail. His head is really gray because he's not dying that shit no more. Cassie's really pregnant.
He's stressed out.
And
Cassie's
look,
pregnant on stand and shit.
He could get the dye kid in there.
Oh, I don't know what he's doing.
He could get the dye kid.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck going on.
Somebody could dye his joint in there, even if it's the Muslim joint, the red joint.
He's rocking it out. He said, "I want them to feel
it." He wants them to be like, "Yo, I'm an old man. Don't send me. Don't lock me in.
Don't do this to me." Yeah. And then the kids are showing up.
Yeah.
Don't do this from my kids. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't keep up with on it. I mean, I hear the highlights, news, stuff like that, but I don't tap into it, bro.
But I understand that, but based on what you're hearing now, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I mean, if he's beating somebody up, really nobody should put hands on females.
At the end of the day,
that's all I want to know. Earl.
I mean, that's it.
Just let me know if you feel that. At least that.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. You know what I mean? You need some therapy. You know what I mean?
But the thing is with that is that he's one of his. I don't think his charges are related to his abuse necessarily. It's related to sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But the missing piece is that I can't remember where. I think that's why I watched the documentary on it.
The
I'm
TMZ joint?
Not even the TMZ joint. It's some shit on Hulu. It's like
okay.
Like you listening to the people that was in the court
Okay,
talking to the camera and whatnot. But it's interesting because Diddy. First of all, did y'all know that Diddy overdosed?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Gene Deal was saying that when he was first working with him, Diddy wasn't on no drugs. And there's a point now he's smoking weed, he's doing pills, ketamine, all that. Yeah.
Hey, man, he worked. Talking about black fatigue, he's all up in that. He needs
Talking
something.
about black fatigue.
Yeah, here we go now.
He needed that to. I'm wide awake. No.
What's it called? What is funny about it is. Okay, I got a clip for you.
He take IV fluids. You seen him talking with his mom with IV bags.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah. I'm out of that loop, bro.
That's fine.
Dang.
I got a clip for you. Now you're not gonna be out the loop
All right.
anymore.
You plugged it in? Let's see what's going on here.
Y'all, the way that Cassie was looking on that thing yesterday, first of all, they're talking to her about the drug use. And the day before, remember I told you guys, they were asking her about the drug use and asking her how she would resupply on drugs. Like, who gave her the drug dealer's contacts and stuff like that. And she said, Diddy. And when she said that, I watched Diddy in court look at her like, girl, what? Yesterday on the stand, they said, okay, so let's talk about your drug use, right? Because is it or is it not true that, you know, both of you guys were using drugs, but like Diddy was still able to run multiple businesses and like ran down a list of everything he was doing. He was more functioning. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you could say that. And then they go into having a conversation about the fact that at one point in time, Puff was calling drug dealers and telling them to stop serving Cassie because she was so bad off. Like, she was worse off on drugs than he was. And Cassie admitted that was happening. The day before that, though, they painted it as if she was, like, lost in this whole, like, drug abuse thing that was caused and spiraled out by Puff. Yesterday, the conversation was, no, you were making choices on your own, to the point where he was even having to intervene with some of her friends because he didn't like how much drugs she was doing. He was trying to like protect the way that they were doing. Like, they were doing their things, right? But he was trying to make sure that it was, from what they're alleging, that it was a lot more safe. And she didn't push back on it.
I thought they were saying. I thought Diddy's team was saying that Diddy was also on drugs really bad, and they were trying to say that's why he didn't remember putting hands on her.
But he even said he OD'd, yes. So look, they never, and this is why I'm saying the prosecution left their star witness out there looking crazy, because Diddy's team has never ran from any of that. They have talked about his drug use. Yesterday, it did come up in court that he overdosed at this around the time that Whitney Houston passed away, right?
Was he rushed to the hospital when he overdosed?
Yeah, they said they took him to the hospital. It was like a whole thing. They didn't go into a lot of detail about it, and I have been trying to get more information on that, because for a lot of us in the courtroom, we were like, wait, what? How did this happen? How did he overdose? And the world never knew. But that's how bad their drug use was. But he was always able to like keep himself together and not like fall off, and able to like try and like go through like withdrawals and stuff to get off of it. She was having a bit of a harder time from what it seemed like, to the point where he was encouraging her to go to rehab, and she admitted she did go to like a wellness spa and things of that nature. But I think the reason why I brought that up is because Puff's team did try and use that as a defense, right? And she tried to do that as well. But the way that everything is coming out now is really seeming like, okay, what we saw happen to her in that video, and the other things that I know happened to her because we've seen photos of the bruises and things like that, right, is not okay. But the way that they were able to almost humanize, like, okay, he had a lot of drugs in him too. If we're going to give her a pass for, you know, being drugged up and, you know, not being able to make her own decisions,
they got a
we
good
should
defense.
have that conversation about him too, is what they were able to accomplish yesterday. Yeah, and it used her to do it.
That's what I was telling you, Lauren.
You got a good defense. Only thing I'm saying is they got pictures of Diddy with his mama in the living room getting IV fluids. Was she getting IV fluids too? Because if you get IV fluids, even though you drugged up, you could function because you're hydrating your body to a point where
That's crazy.
it could balance out the fog that's in there.
No, Mal, we talking.
Yeah.
Earl, after you got presented with evidence
I'm just a student, bro.
Right,
I'm learning to see what's going on.
Yo,
out here.
when you get
based off of
when
what-
you get rich, get IV fluids, bro.
That's what I'm hearing.
Also,
What's the vitamin C?
if you want drugs too, but you gotta be on like that's
Nah,
that's what we talking about.
Even if you're not on drugs and you tired and fatigued, black fatigue, IV fluids bounce you right back.
Bounce you right back.
Clearly,
Reborn.
Reborn. Interesting.
That's the Diddy approach.
That's the Diddy approach.
I guess. What do you think about what you heard?
I mean, I just heard what I heard, and I guess I have no comment on that, bro.
Yo, Earl ain't never snitching.
Yeah.
Bro,
But that's good cop, bad cop. I like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, yo, did Mel do that? I ain't seen nothing. I'm there snitching on
That's a
myself.
fact.
Like, yo, I did it. You know what I'm saying?
For that. I'm not mad at that.
You know what I mean?
What do you think, Mel? Since you've seen it and you got things to say.
What I think is now that
it's interesting. I think it's got layers now.
I think Cassie should have just took the money and ran.
Right.
Because now that you're talking, and
the story's opening up.
they're saying that, okay, look, Diddy had to tell the dealer, yo, stop selling her drugs. It's not about my tab being ran up. Just stop giving it to her. She bugging.
Yeah, she's trying to
Stop serving the friends. Stop serving everybody. I don't care what party it is. I don't care what name. Yeah, it's a Diddy night, but no. The drugs come through me. Don't serve her nothing, right?
So you think that's gonna work in his favor?
It's gonna have some weight.
Absolutely.
Only because it ain't even really about Cassie and it's supposed to be a RICO, sex trafficking, right?
Right. Different things.
So I'm trying to get her off of drugs. I can function on drugs. A lot of this stuff that y'all accusing me of is because she can't not function on drugs. Right?
I mean, that plays a part.
That's what it's good. That's the case they painting.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing several federal charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation for purposes of prostitution. So, like, even with this, like, I think it tips the scales a little bit, but it also still falls in the category because if she's on drugs, that's a part of coercion. That's a part of that's not necessarily part of transportation, but that's like she's one of many too. So it's like this is literally the beginning of the trials. The trials might go on for probably at least a month, if not more.
Till December.
Yeah, till December. Damn.
Yeah, because other people gonna come forward.
December is crazy. It's May.
I know.
They're gonna stretch that.
But yo, bro,
they're gonna stretch it.
This is news. And look.
I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
This is how they do it. But
let me tell you how it works. It's about to be summer. Ain't nobody gonna be paying attention to this. We're gonna bring out the key witnesses when it start getting cold and everybody's in the crib to watch this joint.
So now that's one thing that they said is that they thought some people think that Cassie is the big guns.
Nah.
She not even the big guns?
Little Rod. Where's Little Rod at? Little Rod spoke yet?
Who the fuck is that?
That's the producer that said, did me like this and did he bent me like this and made me watch him take a shower and son ain't speak yet.
Okay.
They waiting for the winter for that. When everybody's in the crib and they came from work and it started getting dark at 5 p.m.
Y'all think this is gonna go to the winter?
I believe
Bro,
so.
they always stretch it out.
We're gonna have to revisit this.
You know why?
I believe so. In the summer when we barbecuing and we out because we ain't gonna really hear too much. We gonna hear the Cassie thing is just to be like, all right. Ain't nobody gonna be on their phone like when the leaves start falling and they like, yo, now we're trying to wrap up the Diddy case and we got so and so and now we're bringing in Mano and now we're bringing in this one and now. Yeah, I went to a party, but I left early. All right, cool. Next I stubbed my toe, and I blacked out, and I woke up 21 days later.
Yeah.
And
so you think because that's why I was questioning because the people that have been brought to the stand are like Cassie, I think a bodyguard, I think Dawn Richards from one of his old groups and whatnot. So you think other people will be brought into it at like celebrity wise? Like I knew that was what I was thinking at first, but then when I see how the trials are actually going, I thought they were gonna go that way. But if it's gonna be stretched, then that makes sense.
I think
personally,
I think it's gonna be stretched.
It's gonna be stretched, bro.
Okay.
Look at other cases.
Yeah.
How long did?
I'm not. That's why I'm dead ass. I'm not familiar.
How long? OJ?
Exactly.
I was just gonna bring that
let me
up,
know how long did that last?
I don't know. Let's look it
bro,
up.
they stretched that, bro.
And they knew the glove didn't fit the second day.
OJ.
But look at even Cosby.
How long? I don't know how long that.
One woman accused him, and how many came forward after?
Hello.
Okay.
And they stretched that shit out.
They had the hotline in Texas, like yo, the Diddy. Like,
the OJ Simpson trial from jury
6 years?
From jury selection to verdict
6
lasted for approximately 11 months.
Oh wow.
You seem wrong. Yo, you seem wrong. Are you sure, bro?
From November 9th, 1994 to October 3rd.
I might be wrong.
No. What?
They might wrap Diddy up quick then.
You think so?
Yeah.
They say that.
That's what.
They do say that this is the biggest case of our generation or whatnot.
Okay.
Like, so it's like it could be as big or in the same ballpark as
So
OJ.
look, They might wrap.
Because OJ was a lot smaller. Like that was a very like intimate case or whatnot.
They might
obviously.
wrap Diddy up and bring Tory back into court. We don't know.
Right. Yeah, they can do that.
Or there might be another boat on the bridge somewhere. We don't know. Could be an earthquake.
Yeah.
California could catch on fire again.
Hello.
We just don't know.
The distractions. Okay.
We don't know.
I'm not mad at it.
Because look,
Sit back and see it all, baby.
all this Diddy we talking about, what bills was passed within this time? Do we know? We just know Cassie took a stand.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
man.
I feel as far as I don't even want to get. It always gets messy when we get into the politics and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm the bad guy.
Okay.
He loved
You
the
pointed to
politicking.
me. We blame it on what is this? Harnitos?
Hornitos is what it's called. Shout out to
Hornitos.
Hornitos.
Listen,
You gotta get a liquor sponsor.
we don't got a sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that came out my mouth was off the Hornitos. Yes,
That's a fact. I'm trying to see.
For some sponsors.
Hornitos.
So y'all, so Mel, you haven't heard nothing about this case?
Nah, see, like, boom. I be tempted to watch the TMZ joints that be on, like, what is it, Hulu and thing, but then I get into my cinematography bag and then I go watch, like, a movie shot on film camera and all that. So I be getting little spurts, little Breakfast Club, this, that. I'm not really, but look, you give me another date, bro. I'll tune into all of, and then come up in here and we
Right,
talk.
no, I get it.
Just give me
You
another
all
date and
about
I'll
that,
tune
bro.
in. Then
I get you.
I'm
For
dry
your
when it comes
first
to
for your
this.
first podcast, this is your bag.
Yeah, he did it.
like,
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Only thing that, like I said, just like that, how that was broken down, and it painted Cassie in a bad light. There are different things that are being brought to the table that not necessarily paints Diddy in a good light, but doesn't make Diddy out to be the villain.
the
like,
super, yeah.
Like I heard or I saw like that. I don't even know. It's mad. It's a messy ass. That's what I'm saying. You tap into that, ooh, you'd be like, damn. Like there's
Okay.
there's one thing that said her like Diddy was would set up Cassie with escorts
Yeah.
to watch her get like smashed or whatnot. So there's that. And again, but even though that looks bad on Cassie, it also looks bad on Diddy because that does go along with the whole sex trafficking joint.
But then also, if I love her and she telling me she want to get clapped by somebody random, and I can facilitate that.
Peace. That's why
No.
Yeah.
But you know, people with money, they on a whole different mental plane.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
They don't
this
just-
my girl. She showed up to me with the red carpet.
Right.
That night was great.
Right.
Yo, I'm gonna blow her mind. This is her wildest dream. She want this.
Right.
Bam. All the black bulls in North Carolina pull up.
Okay.
Cassie here, room 112.
Where the players dwell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And he's like, yo, to deal with it, I'm gonna pop all these pills, shorty, for you to deal with it.
But I think that it's a different. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a different situation with Diddy because Diddy seems like he's not just straight.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's getting enjoyment out of that.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like what you was explaining was the normal thought process of a straight man. Like, oh, I'm gonna cope with this. Like,
No,
he
that's
don't,
not. No,
he don't
no,
need
no,
to cope.
No, that's no. Nowhere near a straight man is on nothing like that.
Oh, okay. So you was just saying
That's
just
E
a rich
pills.
man. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Okay, different
You know-
in the system.
Yeah.
We went to the Chinese buffet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When you got money, you know what happens? You watch every animal get killed and fried in front of you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you like, yo, ain't there a farm somewhere in Europe that got a buffalo that's been living for 20 years? I want the Wagyu from the buffalo.
Right, and if you got the money,
Fly that in.
Right. That's facts of life, bro.
Fly that. I want him alive. I want to see him slaughtered before I eat this
yeah,
motherfucker.
it gets weird.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like certain people don't deserve money. Like clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, certain
Right,
people
right,
shouldn't
right.
have kids. Certain people shouldn't have money. Type shit.
Yeah.
You hit on something
But
like
how
that.
you feel about that though? I know you mentioned a couple topics, but how you really feel about that news coming out about Cassie saying that she was also Diddy had to cut her drug line off, And
it makes it. I feel like it makes it. It's not a cut and dry joint. Especially if it's gonna be dragged out for months and whatnot. Like if it's gonna be dragged out for months, this is just the beginning type shit. There was another joint. There was another piece that said, I think Boozy spoke on it and whatnot. You know what I'm gonna say?
No,
he was what's it called? Like her current man's would I don't even know how it happened because like what type of time were you on? But her current man that she's with, who she's pregnant by, and like I think married to and whatnot, would watch her and Diddy go at it on FaceTime. That's what I'm saying. The whole joint is wild. The whole joint is wild, and it's taking the heat off of Diddy. And it's like, what the fuck was going on, and like, what are we doing right now? So it's like it's more so like, okay, y'all was just on some freak shit. If I had to say, if I was a juror or whatever, I was like, okay, I would be like, y'all was on some freak shit. It's not really necessarily he's a monster. Y'all was all on some freak shit because and I'm sure the drugs made it be like that. Right. There was a bunch of different things at play that made it the situation that it was and whatnot. So like that's my stance on it. So, but also it's not over yet. Like it just got started, and if it drags out till December, I would be surprised. But like that's just me. I believe, but I believe both of y'all because like I'm just like because I'm not tapped into like courtship like honestly like that. So like if that's a normal thing, that makes sense. But me as a naive like bystander, I would be like, oh, I thought this would be wrapped up in a month or so.
You changed my mind reading this OJ joint though.
Yeah, okay.
That got me kind of cutting it down.
But even the OJ joint, I was saying that the OJ joint is just
Nicole
to the house.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that was only 11 months. Yeah. This shit ain't just to the house. This shit is to whoever comes into the mix.
Yeah.
For however many years type shit, blah, blah. So it's like, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yo, Earl, you want to say anything before we go to the next topic, or we said it all?
I think you guys said it all.
Yeah, you want something to drink so you can start talking? No.
I'm sipping.
That's fine.
Keep it light.
So do y'all know? All right, so we can either got two topics for you, but we probably I'm leaning towards one more than the other.
Yeah, we can do that.
Now, do y'all know Halle Bailey?
Oh, Halle Bailey.
I call it Halle Berry.
I call it Halle Berry
because I felt hooked on phonics.
Right, so. She should have like switched it up for it, like because that's really too close to Halle Berry, but it's whatever. Right, it's working for her.
That's
the Little Mermaid. Yeah,
that's the Little Mermaid. That's her name. That's her
think so. Yeah, because Chloe Bailey.
Way back.
It's this way. It's out the door. That's fine. You gotta just leave your mic.
Yeah, I'll be right
leave your mic. Just leave your mic.
Yeah. You know the extra. You know about the situation going on.
All right, bet.
Yeah, that's funny.
Jesus.
I don't know too much about that either, dog.
That's fine. But you know Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
How do you should know her name. You should know how to say her name, right? Is it Haley or Halle? I think it's one of those.
I thought it's probably Halle. Halle?
It's spelled like Halle.
Halle Berry?
It's spelled like Halle. But she going through
a lot of berries going on.
She's not. It's not Barry. It's Bailey.
Oh, Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
but I love Baileys. Can I just blame this on alcohol?
Yeah, that's fine. Hornitos. But she going through it now with DDG, and this is like it's honestly like a common. You got kids?
Oh yeah, I got kids. I got two.
Two? Boy and girl? Or just...
Boy and a girl. 22 and 20.
22 and 20?
I know. I look like I'm 28. Bro.
I would have. I mean, at least 30s type
30?
shit.
Yeah. 43. Turning 43 this year, bro. God's good.
I respect it. Yeah.
God's the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it makes sense. It makes sense because of I know who your peers are and whatnot. But they are 20, 22 and 23. Something you said that?
Yeah, man. Yo, I two fools, man.
But I respect it because you got best of both worlds type shit.
Absolutely.
Man, what's it called? I got a son that is 2,
right,
and a daughter that is 9, another daughter that is 13 and whatnot. Man. So
you know what's crazy? People ask you like, "Yo, when's a good time to have kids?" You know, you can't really answer that question. It all depends on where your journey and where you set out in this life, bro.
That's a fact.
You know, some people wait till after the fact.
And what's funny is I hope he found that bathroom. Like I didn't tell him where to go.
Dang.
But he
navigated, bro.
Yeah, he gonna look around.
2 hours later.
Well, what's it called? As far as Halle Bailey, I don't want to say her name's Halle. I don't know. It doesn't matter. As far as she considered with DDG, they're going through it as far as for custody. They broke up, I want to say maybe a year or 2 ago, and recently she put a restraining order on DDG. I don't even know if you know DDG. DDG is he's like a streamer that also does music. He's kind of a cornball in my opinion.
Yeah.
But she put a restraining order on him because
that's the baby father though.
That's the baby father.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard about
Welcome back, guys. Scored good.
He a streamer? That's what
he's a known streamer.
Oh yeah, bro.
And that's kind of where he like plays games. Like we have like he
which is a big industry.
They broke up like suddenly, and then he had like mad girls on his stream. He had his kid on his stream.
Right.
And the kid is like probably like one or two or whatever. So it was like just does Matt plays a lot of like games at her expense. And then it came out that she was possibly allegedly abused by him. Because she had a bruise on her arm, she had like a slight chipped tooth and whatnot, different things of that nature, and she was granted
for full custody.
She was granted temporary physical and legal custody of son Halo, after Halle Bailey reportedly requests sole legal physical custody, due to the different things, the different problems they've been having and whatnot.
Welcome to the club. We be clubbing.
What do you mean?
Nah, I mean everybody's experiencing, a couple relationship situation.
As far as with your kids,
in life.
Did you have that? Did you go through that with your kids or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Me too, honestly.
No. It's part, but bro. These times are different. Where we at in this lifetime, right? I mean, well, technically it's not too much different. It's just what's being presented.
Right.
Right? But, everything to us now is so accessible that things are running so fast that we're missing ourselves. You know what I mean? But once you slow down, dog, again, everybody has their own journey, bro. And however you are able to tap in, not tap out, and man, you just gotta figure this stuff out.
Absolutely, yeah. Life is different for everybody.
Life is different for everybody.
Everybody's journey is different. So,
go ahead.
This is the alleged bruise caused by her baby father, Halle Bailey's baby father, DDG, and this is the alleged chipped tooth.
She got chipped tooth?
I don't know.
What happened?
Mel said, "Fuck out of here." It looked like it at least.
Yo.
I see. That's how I felt. That's low-key how I felt when I see that too. I was like, some people are born with that.
I think I got one of them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that didn't happen.
Yeah. See, watch these.
I got one.
Yeah. Speak carefully.
Yeah.
She hit you?
Who's that? Oh,
she hit you? That's how you got your tooth? She's abusing you?
Say
it on camera, bro.
She takes good care of me. She takes very good care of me.
I know.
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, man, that's like, look, I'm gonna put it like this.
Let me hear it.
I don't subscribe to any man putting their hands on a woman.
100%. Agree.
Right.
I think a lot of men need to take responsibility for not paying attention to certain signs. Because a woman that's going to F you over definitely gives you signs from the beginning.
Okay.
But because you think, yo, she crazy, I love her, yo, this is what it is, you're not paying attention to the signs.
Yeah.
When you bring her home and mama don't like her, and you think your mom just tripping, she know what that female gonna do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men don't. I'm only speaking from experience.
Okay, yeah, do you think?
My first baby mom took me for a roller coaster ride.
Me too.
Right?
I feel that.
And when I look back at the situation, I was like,
the signs is there. But look at you.
When I took it as
you just contradicted yourself.
What?
Because when you look back at it, you can see the signs. But when you was in it, you ain't see the signs.
Yeah.
Because you was probably, how old was you when your first baby BMs? Young, right?
24.
24. DDG, he's 27 right now. So when he was first with Halle and had his kid's probably 2 now. He was 25.
But now let me put it to you this way.
Go ahead, do you think?
This is the only thing that kills me, right? I grew up in an era where it was landlines, beepers, the first cell phones.
Okay.
We were still going to Nobody Beats the Wiz to buy CDs for our Iowa Walkmans, our Iowa CD players.
Right.
No anti-skip.
Okay.
So if you on the train and it skip, that makes CDs a rap. To finally cell phones, right?
Right.
When cell phones came out, wasn't nobody texting.
Right.
Even though we had cell phones, it took a while for the text. We was chirping, right?
Okay.
So I'm only gonna blame it, which is probably no excuse. I'm gonna blame it to I've been through all those changes of technology, right? DDG is 27. I'm older than him. I'm not gonna give my age like a female. Like, I'm not gonna put it out there. There's too many examples out here on Instagram, YouTube, for you not to say, yo, even though I'm dealing with this chick and I like her, I gotta keep my eyes open.
Now, question to you: what if Hallie? I wish I knew how to say her name. It's either Hallie or Haley. What if she was a good girl, but DDG was a fuckboy, and now when a fuckboy fucks over a good girl that they got a kid with, this is the repercussions.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
No, but I'm asking you, what if that's the case? What if that's the case?
I can't even come back to that because you're absolutely
Right,
right.
can't get it.
In a sense like that, you're absolutely right. And that would turn her to be like, yo, stop playing with me. He's like, yo, come here.
Right.
And then she bit the chicken bone and chipped her tooth and said, yo, he grabbed me and broke my tooth.
Right, that chip is crazy.
So at the
That chip is crazy.
Yo,
But they about to be in the same situation, not the same situation as Diddy and Cassie, but they're gonna go to court. Type shit, obviously. So
You know, bro, it's
absolutely
nice.
right on that one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because when you look at these things, look, I'm 43 years old. I'm gonna put it out there.
Man, go ahead.
because you're not a female.
Yeah, I'm a female, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, word? Oh,
I bet you put up with
shots fired. No. Let's go.
Now, on the real though, bro, let's be real. Like, it takes men to mature later,
time,
right?
yeah.
Over time, depending on the man, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Upbringing, right? 19 years old, 18 years old, bro. There's a lot of span of maturing you need to do, right? But it's unfortunate through experiences because from experiences creates wisdom, and from experience it creates knowledge, and from knowledge it creates wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So with those terminologies right there, bro, these young kids, right? They're there and they don't know, they haven't grown yet. They're still growing. So it's unfortunate in these situations.
No, y'all actually make very good points. I'm really on that one.
Right?
I'm definitely off, because
it's experience,
I'm
bro.
not thinking from back when I was, you gotta go through it sometimes.
Bro, no matter what, bro, you have
gotta
to go through it, bro.
Because if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't be able to say what I...
Dude, there's no shortcuts in life, my G.
Yeah.
There ain't no shortcuts. Everybody has a different journey, but within everybody's journey, they have to grow through what they go through, man.
Right,
Straight up.
I'm not mad at that.
And even somebody tell you, sometimes you gotta go bump your head to really know what they told you, right?
A lot of mercy.
You're right.
Yeah, bro. But that's what we had. That's why we had.
Anything else on Halle Bailey and DDG?
I'm just saying she need to get her name right. It's either Haley or Halle.
We need to get a name right because they know her name. I just don't know her name.
Okay.
Yeah. We just don't.
Well, what's it called? The next. This is the next and final topic. It is Candace Owens versus Jason Lee. Do y'all know either?
I know Candace Owens.
Yeah, I heard the name.
Okay.
I know Candace.
What's Jason Lee going on with now?
Jason Lee is he's a, I don't really know what he's famous for, but he got clout, he got motion and whatnot. He got his own little I want to say like talk show and whatnot. But they had an interesting conversation, and that's what I want to bring to the table today. I want to see what y'all say. It's definitely about to take a turn. So
all right.
You ready
I know Mel's not gonna hold no punches.
Earl,
I want to see what you say.
Woman, you can't be a woman. I'm sitting here pregnant. You don't get the right to come out here and tell me that you're a woman. This is my fourth kid. Okay, you don't even this is not even something that I'm going to debate right now. Okay, it's just not going to debate it. You just don't get to decide upon it. And it's also, by the way, incredibly insulting, the idea that you get to be a woman just because you got some boobs and a lips. There's something very denigrating about that to women. It's basically saying anyone can be you. It's just a costume. Like being a woman is not a costume. It's not a costume. It's just not.
First of all, some of you don't even do it well. I mean, I know a lot of women that don't have lips, that don't have ass, that can't have kids, that, you know, and those some that do have uteruses that probably shouldn't. But that's not because of my opinion as a man. It's my opinion
Because
as
that's not what makes a woman. That's the whole point. And it's
so
like,
what makes a woman
but you
a
think
woman?
that you have to have lips and boobs to be a woman?
No, but what makes a woman
There's just
a woman?
well, we could start at the very beginning. We could talk about why can the doctor tell you? Why do I know that I have a male in my stomach right now? Why are they able to do that? Right? We can go back to
But all
X
women
and Y.
can't have kids, though.
Hmm?
There's a lot of women that aren't
It's not about
that aren't able to have
I'm just
children.
saying, like, why are they even able to give you a gender test to tell you what are they looking for? We are different chromosomally. We're just literally different biologically. We are two different species.
So do you believe
and so
that?
it's not a behavior. It's like this person, and even if you say, okay, some women can't have children, that means something has gone wrong. In a perfect world, every woman has a womb and therefore can have a child. Things can go wrong, of course. But it doesn't change the rules. It doesn't mean like suddenly, well, that means a man can be a woman. That's crazy. Woman, you can't be a woman. I'm sitting here pregnant. You don't get the right to come out.
What do we think? So her stance is basically. I think I'm about to show you real fast.
No, yeah, do you think?
This is because again, this is probably. I think this is one of the. Yeah, this is one of the joints that went. Oh, that's actually is one of the joints.
It's the same tool, or
it's the same. It piggybacks off of it.
All right, so Jason Lee and Candace Owens recently had an interesting conversation regarding women versus transgender people. Here it is.
I just am trying to get you pinned down here on how you can say that, but not acknowledge if Rachel Dolezal, if we're talking about the trans issue, she's transracial. So give her respect. Put respect in her name.
Explain to me how.
Because on the inside she felt black. She was dressing like she was black. She was making her skin darker like she was black. She was standing for the black cause. She was working for the NAACP. Just happened to be that she was, born a white girl with blonde hair and freckles. And it only became problematic when somebody exposed it. And people said, no, you can't just be black. Why not? If you're gonna say that a man can just be a woman, why can't Rachel Dolezal just be black? You gotta be consistent.
Because she's white.
Okay, because it's a man.
Candace Owens also says just because you get some lips and boobs, that does not make you a woman.
That part.
She also says that it's insulting to women.
What's our thoughts? That's interesting, right? At the very least, it's interesting. Y'all look like y'all in deep
tell me
thought
why,
right now.
why?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You tell me that it's human nature. Say why?
Classic.
Now you're right. Dang, bro. So Candace Owens. Sorry.
Do you think?
No, wait, hold on. So
Candace Owens.
So Candace Owens, in her reference, she's explaining that because talking about transgender.
Transgender.
Are
So
they considered?
Her stance is that transgender men or transgender women that are born men that transition to women is equivalent to Rachel. I can't remember. I can't pronounce her last name, but the woman that is white that identifies as black. Like that's that's her stance. That is equivalent.
That's equivalent.
Well, I showed you two clips where you can devise your own opinion based off the clips. Earl, you gotta go first because
I gotta go first.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Mel's been going first.
Hey, Mel's
I'm not trying to.
He's been holding down.
Nah.
He's been holding it down.
Yeah, the clutch, bro. I've been on the bench.
No, it's not even a clutch. I'm an asshole.
I know.
So it's like.
So I know Mel's gonna give up.
I know.
So I want to hear you first. So because regardless, Mel's gonna give up. So I want to hear you first. Talk to me.
I'm gonna say this, bro. Like,
what are you gonna say?
Everybody gonna do what they're gonna do, right? And that's.
See, I wish you were mic'd up so you can give your perspective.
Yeah, she could have. Yeah, you can mic her up now if you want.
See, don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah, you gonna get mic'd up? You
don't even gotta be on camera because you got
you gonna pop it? You pop it.
Well, I'm gonna give you a mic. So you can put it on your string.
Yeah, she like talking.
So you're gonna be the behind the scenes mic.
I mean, bro, you could chop this up different ways, man.
Tell me something.
No, really, truly, everybody's gonna do what they're gonna do.
That's a fact.
Right? You can't stop that, whether it's biblical or tradition, whatever the case is, because and more now than ever, things are different, regardless of the fact, right? No matter what I feel or think, it is what it is. And guess what? You're gonna treat humans the way they are, right? And look, grew up in the '80s. Look, there was men, there's boys, and there's girls, right?
Uh-huh.
But in this time right now, things are changing. Things like this happened centuries ago, you know. But right now in the present, what happened? You like?
Do you think?
Am I hanging myself, bro? Oh, you saw something?
I saw a bird.
Oh, there's something, yeah?
It was something. It was a flying bird.
Oh, he was flying. I didn't know where it
I
landed.
thought they was gonna land.
They didn't know where it landed.
Yeah, one of those.
Can I just live
basically
right
saying, drop your nuts, man.
Nah, it's funny.
One of these days. But you good. You do your
Nah,
thing.
yo, bro, this is just me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I play neutralis, man. Like, I give everybody respect who they want to be, bro.
But that's not the question. The question is not who you respect. If you respect,
drop the question again.
Yeah, the question. Her stance is that men who transition into women is equivalent to the white woman who identifies as black. Do you? All right. Let me ask you this.
I don't know if I agree.
Let me
with it, bro.
all right, but you don't agree with what?
I don't think that's like the same. I get.
So then break it down. You got to peel the orange. You got to peel the onion.
Yeah, no, I don't really see.
Break that down. Why don't you feel like it's the same?
Because I mean, a man transitioning into a woman, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You don't feel like it's the same
as Caucasian woman
identified as
black.
Why?
Because it's like a man transitioning into a woman. I mean, isn't he kind of taking away his parts and adding as well?
A white woman is taking away her identity as a white woman and quote unquote identifying as a black woman. Like this Rachel girl that did that, she darkened her skin to be darker.
But bro, and even in the islands or anywhere, they're bleaching.
Exactly. But
Right?
but okay, even bleaching. Let's use bleaching.
Yeah.
Jamaicans or
Absolutely.
whoever, Caribbeans, whoever.
Yeah, but
are they not white people because they bleached?
No, they're not. They're not. But it's this. Their skin is lighter, but they're not white.
Exactly, they're not white people. So that the comparison is that to men who transition to women.
Okay, but now.
And you're saying it's different. So what's the difference?
For me, because check this out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the intricate details of. Some may remove parts from their body, right? I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
They might add.
First of all, they don't all do that.
That's not my expertise. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
Touchy. This is touchy.
It is touchy, and I ain't trying to really touch it. No, but
yo, it's funny. It's funny when he goes first.
Yo, I know, right? You see, if they put me on a chopping block.
Do you think?
No, but I'm just saying. To me, I think for let's say people in the Caribbean bleaching, right? I think it's a mental thing. It's an insecurity within themselves, right? That's handling that, right? But now somebody being transgender, it could be a chemical imbalance, or it's just something they want to be a female, you know, or vice versa. Bro, I don't know, man. That's what
Now you said now. Let's land it with you say you don't know, and
I don't know.
Right, and that's fine. That's fine. Let's see if your partner, how your partner feels.
Okay.
As the only woman in the room.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how you feel.
Okay, so with the transgender woman,
Okay.
it's a physical thing, right? They're transitioning their body physically to become a woman. If you look at the woman who wants to be, she's white, but she wants to become black. Why does she want to become black? Is it just the skin color? She likes the skin color? Because there's lots of people there's white people that lay out in the sun because they want to be darker, right? You also have the dark people that want to become lighter. I think it's just a preference, a personal preference, appearance-wise, physically, but then you have to look at the aspect of internally, mentally, why do they feel that way? Could it possibly be maybe they believe in past lives, maybe they think that they maybe they were black in a past life and they still, there's residuals of that. Or maybe they were, you know, a man, or I mean a female in a past life. Or maybe it's just they don't feel comfortable in this skin. Maybe they had some kind of trauma that made them feel that way. And they're just exploring those options. I personally don't know because I'm not them, but that's where my head goes.
Right, no, of course.
Why do they feel this way?
So what's your stance?
My
as far
stance?
As, yeah.
As in, should they do it? Is it this?
No, not should they do it, and not whether we should respect them or what their why is, but.
Oh, is it the same, right?
Is it the same? Are trans women, are transgender women, women?
Are they?
As the only woman in the room.
No. I don't
See,
think
it's
so.
funny. I respect that you say that, but it's funny that you say that because everything that you said up until then seemed like you were like gonna say the opposite.
If you're talking physically, they're not, because the genetics are not actually female. They're changing parts of their bodies to appear female, but they're not actually female.
Well, what if you say you weren't? You gave your answer, but say even if you weren't talking physically, what is it? Is there? Are they in any way a woman? Not even just physical.
To who?
To the
In
world.
their own mind, or to the world?
To the world.
To the world?
Because you could be if you wanted to be, you could be a squirrel in your mind.
That's right.
So it's like no, not to your mind, to the world.
So to the rest of the
or
world?
to reality, not even to the world, in reality. Are they in any way a woman? In reality.
Whose reality? The world's reality?
The universe's reality. You know? Like, you know what I mean? Like reality. Like not their reality, but reality. Because you know what I mean? We all have our own realities, but there's also the reality of the situation. You already gave your answer. At this point, I'm just asking you
I said what I said, so.
Right. But the
mean,
only reason I asked you more about that is because you said physically. You said physically, no. But then I asked you in any other way, are they?
That's how they would appear.
Like mentally, you would say they would be to them. Basically, you're saying to them they're a woman.
Right. If they believe they're a woman, then they're a woman.
Right.
Right.
So is that?
If I think I'm a squirrel, then I'm a squirrel.
But you're not a squirrel. If you think you're a squirrel, that means you're that. See, that's why the comparisons and logic is important, because if you think you're a squirrel, if Mel thinks he's a squirrel, if Earl thinks he's a squirrel,
I'm Earl the squirrel.
That works.
I mean,
that works. I don't know how that worked.
There's
But
a rhyme and reason for
that
season.
works.
That fucking worked. That fucking worked.
I got them my nuts, stack them up. You know what I'm saying?
That was
my
crazy.
bags. Sorry, go ahead.
But everyone besides Earl, that doesn't work for.
Earl is a squirrel.
That was crazy. That was
I'm all
ridiculous.
over.
I like that. But if you were if I think I'm a squirrel, wrap me up in a straitjacket because I'm crazy.
Right. To
So it's
society, you are not a squirrel. You're a crazy person, and you need to be locked up.
Society,
Right.
but society and reality. Like in reality, squirrels aren't gonna fuck with me because I'm not a squirrel. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" So it's just interesting, and that's why it's like I promise I wouldn't have brought this conversation up if it wasn't for
It's touchy, bro.
it came up in like quote unquote society or
Right.
social media and whatnot, and it's an interesting. I never heard that take
Mm.
because usually, and I'm still going to like after this respect every walk of life and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But she did raise a good point, which is kind of hard to combat. Like the only person I haven't not even combated, but like the only person that like I would at this point would feel interested to hearing their side of it is someone that is transgender, but it also might hit nerves.
Right.
at that point.
Yeah.
But as the only woman in the room, thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mel, last but not least.
Oh. Nah. You's a dude.
Oh shit.
You batting bowling it, my dude.
Okay.
You ain't born with ovaries.
Okay.
You think with half your brain.
Okay.
Scientific shows that women think with all their brain. Anytime they think of something, men think with one half, think with another half for another thing.
Right.
It don't add up. As far as the Caucasian lady wanting to be black, she always liked black dudes. She want to be down. She want to twerk. That's all it is, man. I'm just keeping it 100. She's like, yo, the culture is fly. I need to be identified. I don't want to be a Karen. I don't want to be none of that. I want to be able to be that. You know what I'm saying? When I throw my jeans on, I look in the mirror, I sit on the side of the sink, I'm that. That's it. If I got to go tanning all day to darken it, that's what I'm going to do. But, like you say, the universe made us.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe in the God, if you don't believe in this, if you don't believe in that, whoever determined who you would be in the womb, or however it was determined you would be in the womb, and you came out with bat and balls, or you came out with a slit, that's what it is. Because you're the Infamil or the Similac or the waffles you ate or whatever made you feel different, you have to realize the fact that you still came out with bat and balls. That's who you're supposed to be.
If you
That's
think
it.
If you think about it, why are we here on the earth?
Why are we here?
Why are we here?
I feel like that's a question that people like go their whole lives trying to figure out. So,
Right. So watch this. We here for a moment, right, in time.
Okay.
All right. We talked about this before the podcast popped on about the universe and right or God,
We touched on it.
flat, right? Little touch, right? And animals and how they, right?
Okay.
They reproduce.
Yeah.
To keep their lineage going.
Right. That's a fact.
So now.
So do we.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But now, right? Now you're a male.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
So that the show stops there. Meaning, bro, we're here to be fruitful and fulfill the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's technically what's been put out there, right? But without that, like you have a child to continue your lineage because of the reproduction stages and phases of what's natural, right? I mean, I know there's some clashes now where they, that they feel that they can still have babies,
I don't feel like that's a clash. It's just it's an alternative. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say this.
There's alternatives.
I don't disrespect them.
That's a fact.
I don't have nothing against them. I've been in plenty of clubs.
Absolutely.
They come by, yo, you bad dope. You want a drink? No, I'm good.
So I'm about to say, so if a trans woman approached you, you be down? Because you don't disrespect them?
Not down for what? No.
Yo, hold on.
You can't say down, bro. You can't say down.
There ain't nothing wrong.
You can't do that. Now, like, I'm not gonna violate you. Like, yo, get the F out of here, yada yada.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
shoot your shot.
No. This is how it boils down to. You might be in a phase. 20 years from now, you might be like, yo, I see the errors in my ways. I was actually born this way.
Right.
Especially a lot of them don't go through the full surgery or nothing like that.
That's true.
So that's something you're going to have to take up with the maker, or you're going to have to be at the gates, like rewind the tape, yo, see what we went wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm not out here bashing them or nothing, but universal, as he mentioned, the universe and the way you came out, you're supposed to be this. The complications along the way, whether it was the baby formula, because a lot of our women don't breastfeed, so we don't know what's in the baby formula. A lot of our people can't stay home with their kids and cook them meals, so they're getting waffles. We don't know what's in the waffles. We don't know because atrazine is something they put in the water and watch the frogs change their gender.
Yeah, you tapping into something
So
else.
No, I'm just saying.
You speaking it, bro.
I'm not tapping into. This is public knowledge now. This has
Well,
been
you
said on
tapping
the news. So it's not like I'm uncovering or blowing up something. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we don't know what happened to this child along the journey, that when they became an adult, the chemicals in their brain made them feel this way.
So I don't mean to cut you off. Well, so when people, LGBTQ or homosexual or whatever you want to frame it as, when they say they were born this way, do you not believe that?
No, they're not born this way. The reason why you're not born this way.
Hey, see,
Huh?
you should have been on. Next
you
time
said?
you gotta be on.
You think they were born that way?
There's some. Some people.
This is why I don't think you're born this way.
Oh shit.
Because as a child, you're new to this, right?
Right. Okay.
You don't come out as a child like, yo, I love this other girl child. You have to grow.
Yeah.
You have to mingle with people.
Facts. I mean,
And that stuff is what, then you start to say, you know what? Even though he's a boy and everybody's saying they like boys, I actually like girls.
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off for the rebuttal.
Okay.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
So take the child that, say for instance, an autistic child.
Mm-hmm.
Or a child that has mental retardation of some form, right? They were born that way. They didn't choose to be that way. Why couldn't it be that, because there was something wrong with their brain, with their development. So who's to say that that child that was formed and came out thinking that they're really a boy or a girl, whatever, opposite their actual physical sex, what's to say that that didn't happen? It was an actual physical disruption in the development, like a glitch in the system.
The reason why I would say it's not a disruption in the system, because when you're born, we're all peeing in diapers, right? If you're a girl, you learn to sit. If you're a boy, you stand and you pee. With those basic indoctrinations, you have to grow further to understand if you like females or like males. That's not coming out the womb. At the womb, you're a blank canvas.
I like that.
There's an interruption between the growing up ages where that canvas is tampered with. Because say you want to say a child, let's go with your ideology.
Okay.
This child is born and is gay. How would you know the child is gay?
You don't.
Okay, right? You don't know. You don't know if the child is gay.
Right.
But if you grow this child up the whole way to be the boy that is, teach it manly things and all that, when will this child know it's gay? When will you know that the child is gay? At what age?
They're saying this, and I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they're starting them young, like
okay. They're putting
4
it in
years
cartoons.
old.
But see, that's all external.
Conditioning. I agree.
So
I
my
agree
thing
with
is
that.
this: if I have a child, right, and I grow a child in my village, and my village is the boys do this and the girls do this, and you've been a girl your whole time and you've been a boy your whole time. What age will I realize that this child, even though it was grown up with the girls, and this child that was grown up with the boys, at what age will that child realize that they don't want to be that? No, there's a disruption somewhere along the way. Let me ask you a question. Why is there so many women now in this world with one fallopian tube? That wasn't going on back in the day.
I didn't know that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know that.
No.
That's a thing?
There's a lot of women that they might get pregnant, and when they get pregnant, they have to lose a tube, right? So now the chances of them getting pregnant is slim because they have one fallopian tube, right? Mm-hmm. So where did that come in? That wasn't from the beginning of time.
Right.
What are they ingesting? What are they consuming to allow them to lose a tube? Let's dispel that. Let's forget about the tube, right? Now these people have kids, right? What are they eating? What vaccinations are you getting? What is being put in your body to turn so many people gay?
Just on the tube joint.
Yeah.
Google says while most women are born with 2 fallopian tubes, it is possible to be born with only 1.
Mm-hmm.
This can occur due to Mullerian anomalies, where the reproductive organs are not fully developed.
Right.
A unicornuate uterus type of Mullerian anomaly is characterized by a single abnormal uterus and only one fallopian tube. So different things of that nature. So it's like when you said one fallopian tube, it doesn't seem like it's a common thing. It's
not.
It's a rare thing.
No, it's a rare thing. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of women that have two because they're born as a woman. But the first time they get pregnant, they have an ectopic pregnancy and they lose a tube.
Oh, okay.
So they lose the tube and they lose the baby.
Okay.
And now they're only left with one.
Gotcha.
Now their chances of reproduction is even slim because they only have one.
Right, okay.
That didn't start from the beginning of time.
Right, no.
That's something 1998.
Well, why do you say that didn't start from the beginning of time?
Because it's proven that there was more cases showing that from in the 90s till now, whatever they're consuming is causing them to lose a tube.
Okay.
So now
But didn't you just say it was due to like a problem in the pregnancy?
Yeah.
Right. So what do you mean is
But
what they're digesting?
before that, what was the problems in the pregnancy? When did autism start?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what autism is.
Yeah, that's when they
autism.
Yeah,
autism. Autism. I don't fucking know when the fuck autism
okay,
started.
but that wasn't from the beginning of time.
How you know
wasn't.
that? I'm not gonna lie. I will look it up.
Nah.
'Cause I wouldn't think that it wasn't from the beginning of time.
No.
You're gonna tell me. So you're gonna tell me retardation wasn't from the beginning of time?
There might be there's probably cases of
Okay.
that, but go ahead.
Okay, so
We get into the conspiracy theory aspect of this.
yeah, we trying to go viral, right? So
I didn't say that.
no, you're not trying to go viral.
You good.
I just want to turn your show. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, they
The
gonna
term.
Yeah,
All right. So look, even from the breakdown of it, the term.
We not on Wikipedia. Are we on Wikipedia?
No, we're on Google.
Oh, okay.
The term autism was first used in 1911. That doesn't mean that they just didn't have a term for it before that. That doesn't mean that it didn't exist before
I'm
that.
pretty sure that there was cases and things of that nature.
Yeah, what the artists, a lot of artists autism is a spectrum too. So it's like there are different variations of it. So it's like that's why I get what you're saying, but it's just because the cases are more prevalent in our faces now doesn't mean they didn't exist before. Like even retardation or whatever. Like just because it wasn't documented before doesn't mean it didn't exist. Shit was wild back then. They probably killed people that were like that, like because they didn't fit the quota or they didn't know what was wrong. Like people didn't even live past 20 or 30 or whatever way back in the day type shit. So it's just like there's gray area.
Well, they would leave those babies to die.
Exactly.
They would leave them somewhere to
That's
die
true.
because they knew that they would be a burden on the family.
First of all, they didn't know that, but it makes sense.
But here's what we were talking about before about the birds by nature, right? Right? We talked about it. They kicked the birds out the nest.
Right.
Even the ones that were that weren't going to survive, they know they're not going to survive. They still kick them out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But nah, you good. So yo, you the only one. I mean, you answered. You didn't really answer, but you gave your answer. You was like, you respect everybody.
Yeah, peace, love, and happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I'm not mad
at the end of the day, I respect everybody too. Like, I don't disrespect.
Right, that's why it's not answering the question because no one's disrespecting anybody.
Yeah,
everyone's showing love and being respectful and whatnot. But when you ask a direct question, you kind of got to give your perspective or a direct answer or opinion and whatnot. But thankfully, your partner's here, so as the only woman in the room.
she dropped. Yeah, she gave an answer for. Yeah.
There you go.
And the clip touch. You know
Yo,
what I mean?
fellas.
Go ahead.
Wildin'?
Yeah. What's it called? So that is all the topics.
Oh, we ain't got another question? That's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's all the topics.
So why I drink this?
That's what's crazy.
How
What's
long
funny
you been
is
3 hours?
over 2 hours. I don't know if it's 3 hours. We'll have to check.
Is this the longest?
Hell no. But it's definitely up there. It's definitely not below 2 hours. I want to say it's not 3 hours either. It's probably
Got a lot of viewers too.
Yeah. Yo, listen, man. I'll give a shout out to all the mentors out there.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead,
so it's 2 hours, 43 minutes. But the beautiful thing about this is that it doesn't matter how many people view the shit because it's gonna get repurposed.
Right.
Like there's clips, there's short form clips. Like so, all the different topics will be reposted as clips on YouTube,
Right.
and it's also gonna be reels and TikToks and whatnot. Well, I'll hit you. Like y'all both will get a notification. As collaborators,
Right,
and whatnot for the podcast episode.
Yep.
So if we're talking about this Chris Brown, Tory Lanez, Diddy, whatever the case is, by tomorrow you'll start getting notifications to collaborate. If you accept the collaboration, it'll post on your pages and whatnot.
No problem. I'm accept.
Yeah, so it's what's called. That's why it's like it's a dope formula cycle.
I'll keep it.
Right. So it's like I don't even with all the people that like started following on TikTok, even if they all didn't not subscribe, but like tap into the live, they gonna see that shit when I post it as TikToks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we get out of here, do y'all want to say any last words, last shout outs? Because people will see this again in the future when they tap into the live or the episodes when it's on YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to thank all the mentors. Without mentors, I mean, you name it, man. It's down the list. People who know me, I don't have to mention names. They know who they are. Shout out to Big Fish Productions, James, Choice Films, Super Media, and all of the local entertainment, the programs that are helping the youth. Sort of kind of like, I'm gonna mention Hudson Stockade Works, all the casting agents, HBG Castings, and the Hudson Valley Castings as well, Stockade Works, the Woodstock Film, and all these programs help me to navigate through film and stuff like that, and I appreciate those programs. So take advantage of those programs when they come about, because that's how you get your foot in the door. And that's pretty much it.
1000%.
Yeah, straight up.
Mel, what's up?
Yo, first off, I'd like to shout out J-Line for having me on the show.
Oh yeah, that's too. Big up. My G.
Earl Pearl for telling me to pull up.
Lot of mercy.
Everybody. Yeah, shout out to Earl, because I wouldn't have met you, connected with you otherwise. So appreciate meeting you. Appreciate Earl bringing us together.
Yeah. Season gifts too.
Of course.
I hope I ain't violate. Hopefully he bring me back on the show again.
Yeah, we might get.
I know some of my content is really on some BS, but listen,
it's authentic though.
That's just me. You feel me? But if you need some good cinematography and you want to get the one-stop shop, get your movie done, get the audio done, I'm the person to hit up.
Word.
And everybody, have a great day.
Yeah. Also look out for future projects. Like I said, you can follow Mel on.
Say it slow. Say it slow.
Yeah, real slow.
MIKMEL 100 on Instagram. And we got, for all the actors that need an affordable reel so that they can get booked.
What affordable?
An affordable reel. Yeah, okay. We're not charging $1,200, $1,500 for the reel. We'll get you a scene partner. We'll get you a location. We'll get the script for you for an affordable rate. It's ITS reel, REEL _100 on Instagram. And then you can also find me at MIKMEL 100 on Facebook.
Oh, that was short and sweet.
Now, Earl, are we gonna plug ourselves, or are we gonna?
Oh yeah. So I always figure that on me, right? But don't worry, because I shine bright.
He's a giver.
Oh.
Yo, on Facebook it's Earl Legister. Instagram is Earl the Pro 82. TikTok is I don't even know my TikTok. Earl Legister. Yeah,
they'll find it if they follow. If
you guys find
Facebook, they'll find it.
Yeah, I'm all over that. I try to be at least whatever time I do have. Yeah, I work around the clock, but but we here. being present, which is the best present. That's it.
Oh, real quick, can I do one more thing?
Yeah, man.
Yo, DJ Douya, holla at me, bro. We got to get up. He was the first person to have me on the show out here in Kingston. I did a showcase for him, and I did a was it a podcast? I think it was 2 showcases and maybe a podcast. He had me perform. He showed me mad love, set me up nice.
You perform?
Yeah.
You do music?
Yeah. I rap too. Yeah, that's when I was rapping. I was rapping crazy and running around Kingston with DJ Douya, King, and I forget the other brother's name, but yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, shout out to Ulster County and everything that's going on out here, Dutchess County, Sullivan, and all those things. We just wrapped up a commercial, Sullivan County. You can check that out. That's been streaming all over in the city. You know, obviously they're trying to bring people upstate here. Obviously, you can see a lot of transitions going on.
They're doing a good job.
Oh yeah, they definitely doing a good job. That means there's a big budget going on right now. But yeah, you know what's going on.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's
For
it.
sure. I appreciate y'all coming through, and hopefully we'll have y'all back again whenever y'all schedule fits and whatnot.
That's it.
And until then, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment.
Yeah.
Until next
Okay.
time.